I'm David Sponheim, and I want to save this nation. I support liberty, equality, and sustainability. Don't be a sheeple like the Republicans, the Democrats. Don't buy into the illusion of free choice and enter the slaughterhouse of the future. Join ATP, everybody. We believe in freedom, protecting our rights like gun rights, privacy, and the Constitution. Welcome to our show. Good evening. Hey, it's always fun to have a daily show and talk to people that I've talked to for a long, long time. It's fun to come in and do a show from my studio, my home studio. I feel so blessed living in America. I was never in the debates. They never let me in. They don't want a person with my capabilities debating them. You see, I'm an unusual person. I'm an out-of-the-box politician who is completely honest and dedicated to this country, unlike all the other liars we've got right now. I'm a new breed of politician, and I'll tell you, this is a country that needs this type of new energy. And no matter what people say about what we're doing, we're trying to save America lots and lots of money. If we don't do that soon, if we don't get a zero deficit by 2017, our nation's going to be spiraling out of control financially. We're already digging deep into our pockets just to survive. And we aren't even dealing with the biggest problem, which is nature and the earth. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's spiraling. Yeah. David, I have a very serious question. You know, I wouldn't increase NASA's funding. I would make the best use of it. I'm going to take NASA and NOAA and fuse both their budgets and their operations. And I'm going to team them up tightly to work to help with global climate change, making sure that we have a clear view of what's happening in the atmosphere, as well as the possibility of getting a return on investment from our NASA program. You know, NASA hasn't really learned to make money. And recent decisions by Obama to partner up with private enterprise hasn't really paid off. I mean, look at SpaceX. Just blasted off and blew up on the way to the International Space Station. $1 billion wasted. And look at all the other money wasted on NASA, where we never got money back from delivering payloads. So when countries offer up satellite shipments like France does and Russia, they make money. In fact, we're giving Russia $600 million over the next 10 years to deliver payloads to the International Space Station. $500 million. We're giving Richard Branson $4.5 billion just for a few executives at NASA to fly on the maiden voyage of Virgin Galactic. And so far they've crashed, 2 of these vehicles, killing 4 people, injuring 2 others. Yet our NASA associates want to use your tax dollars to go on a little field trip and have a fun flight in the ionosphere. I mean, the whole thing's absurd. We need to get rid of this dead weight in our own government and these departments that are sucking us dry. Yes, I would definitely increase NASA's involvement in the Earth defense net from incoming asteroids. That's definitely high on my list. But also look at mining the moon using unmanned robotic instrumentation. The possibility of going to the moon and pulling up rare earth metals like platinum, which we need in our wafer technology industry. We're running out of that. Hillary Clinton cannot even get near my lower prescription drug cost plan. I have a generic drug medication plan that I've been pitching for the past 7 years. Generic meds. And generic medicine can be implemented through my mobile medical unit idea. This dovetails nicely with our legalization plan, too, of marijuana. Hillary can't even get close to the plans we have as bypasses for our nation's healthcare crisis. This is a mobile medical unit in Minnesota that could very easily serve anyone's needs, especially illegal aliens and homeless people, obviously. People with premium health insurance plans may not opt to use one of these, but you could. And the generic medicine would be sold right there. It would be made by American corporations, acting on a grant from the NIH, National Institute of Health, will redivert funds that are currently going into the hands of Baxter Labs and GlaxoSmithKline and put them in the hands of you, the American taxpayer, when we get a return on investment from these cool generic medicines that we sell. Now, there's no reason why we can't sell generic Cialis or generic Viagra and tell the big pharmas to stick it up their you-know-what. Sorry, they can sue us all they want. They get 45% of their research and development dollars from you, the taxpayer, and have for the past 25 years. So we have a way of getting something back this way with generic medicine. So Hillary doesn't have anything on me. And plus, she won't legalize marijuana, which makes her about as useless a future president as anyone could be. The American people, 58% of them, want legalized marijuana. Now you're looking at this $155 billion savings. And you're wondering what it is. This is per year, by the way. At least the first year. We want to stop this plan to give Iran $150 billion. Once we stop it and cancel their ticket, that'd be great. We could save that. Plus, if we cut back on the money we give the UN every year, we'll be saving another $5 billion per year. Big plan to save $155 billion right off the top. Thanks, Shrek. All right, everybody. So we also talked a little bit about the ocean, and I'm not going to forget the ocean and all the beautiful sea creatures like the dolphins living under the water, and how we want to protect and clean up the ocean. So our plan is to actually fix the environment, build American jobs in doing so, and begin to see an improvement instead of this endless degradation of our planet. You like Cialis? It's an amazing drug. Well, why can't you get a generic version of it? You know, I mean, what's the problem here? Why are we catering to a bunch of big pharmaceutical companies that are acting like they control our country when we, the American people, should be controlling our country? If you want Viagra or a cure for cancer, my priorities are the same. Whatever you want, I want. Okay? Now, what if there was a cure for cancer and the Food and Drug Administration was actually stopping holistic doctors from delivering the cure? What if that was the case? Well, there's a story propagating on the internet, and I would say elsewhere, but we haven't seen much advancement recently in our nation in terms of intellectual property, Dave. No. You know, there's one way to deal with that. I just tell GlaxoSmithKline, hey, well, you don't want any more research and development money. Okay, fine. You keep your particular drugs, and we won't help you with any research and development money. Okay? So they can keep Viagra or Cialis, and they can continue to sell it as a private label, and we won't copy it, but we won't give them any money either. How do you like them apples? That might be the way to go with that, until we get them to sign off on a generic version of Viagra or Cialis. Anyway, let's move on. God. We've got a lot of stuff to talk about. Ocean cleanup is one of the priorities. Last week we got a hold of a site that's pretty dang cool called oceancleanup.com. And we ran across the largest cleanup in history going on. The beginnings of something really big. They're going to try to filter and clean with buoys and all kinds of booms that hold plastic waste. They're going to try to filter and clean this stuff using this new technology. Solar panel powered filters that aggregate plastic waste in one area. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, so that's kind of a neat thing that's moving forward. You can check that out at oceancleanup.com. I'm excited about it. Because what's happening, folks, there's mass animal deaths going on around the world from not only plastic waste, but we've got a bigger problem now with Fukushima and radiation. Whatever's killing our ocean plant life and the small baby sardines and the smelt and the baby herrings, they're no longer alive, is also killing a lot of the ocean sea life. And we're looking at close to, 14,000 otters have died on the coast of Oregon. I'm accepting calls, but not credit cards, no. So this is end of times prophecy, but this is really happening. The list of worldwide mass deaths, animal deaths for 2015. And this is, I thank Drag King for. He's the guy who brought this in. He posts it quite often. But look at this. This is like unbelievable. Mass animal death list. I can go to any one of these links and show you tons of fish dying along the coastline of the Pacific Ocean and the rim. Otters are endangered. Yeah. All of life form is endangered. Why are you Democrats unable to accept that? There should be a Black Lives Matter well, Black Kitty, thank you for coming in. Yeah, we do recognize the need for you to actually, set this up. Contact me when I'm president. We'll set up a meeting of the Black Caucus, and we'll all have a kind of a rap session. All right? Now check this out. I'm getting ready to contact Natasha Chen at Cairo. I'm going to email her. I'm going to say that my team, my support here, actually has said that what they did, the 12 seconds that they did air of my face, appears to be race baiting. And I'm going to say I really need to see all the footage, because I'd like to piece it together without her in it and just get a real loop together so I can explain myself, because they didn't properly explain myself in the video. I told them that the swatting had nothing to do with blackface. I said those specific words. And they wanted to use that as a chance to label me, and much like the Rolling Stone labeled me a bizarre fringe candidate, to just libel me, basically. So I'm a little bit concerned about the race baiting issue that was brought up in the room by a couple of our viewers who are concerned about that. I will not stand for race baiting, so I'm going to need that footage. I'll tell them that in the letter I'm writing. Thank you very much, Shrek, for asking about that. Yeah, the Rolling Stone wrote an article on me. Yeah, I'm not BSing you. No, I've been in the Rolling Stone. I just haven't been on the cover of the Rolling Stone. Until I hit the cover, it's not going to happen. Okay, David, there is nothing bizarre or fringe about you. I know. That's why I feel it's libel. And if they do call me a fringe character, I'm only a fringe character because I'm talking about all those doctors, those holistic doctors that are dying because they may have found a cure for cancer. Welcome to the FDA. Yeah. We don't know what's going on with the 10 holistic doctors that have died recently, but let me get you the link to it. Yeah, I've been overwhelmed with stuff to process every day. It's almost bombarding. Here it is. The 10th holistic doctor has been found dead. These doctors were prescribing a type of vitamin that is showing to great promise in stopping cancer. And the article is out there called Why No Cure. Here it is. You can take it for a ride. Read this article. Find out what it's all about. Wait a second. Oh my God, it's been purged, folks. Let's see if I can bring it up. Hang on. Okay, it's up. Okay, here we go. 10th holistic doctor found murdered in her home. Controversial connections are surfacing. All these doctors were under investigation by the FDA. And yeah, that's kind of a serious thing. And when they all died, unexplainable deaths recently, each doctor, especially this guy right here, he was investigating his son's child autism, and he did really deep scientific studies of the vaccines themselves, and he found this product called Nangalase in every single... No, saying I is not racist at all. It's called imitation. God, you people don't even understand what freedom of speech is, and you come in here calling me a racist, and you're protected by freedom of speech doing that. The healthcare crisis is a chance for the big, huge healthcare companies to rip us off, guest 966. So if there is a cure for cancer, folks, and these people may have found it, They were offed. And if they're trying to in some way put nangalase in every single vaccine, which these people found were in vaccines, they found that nangalase, not mangalase, but nangalase, I'll give you the spelling. You can Google it. It causes, nangalase causes tumor production. So if they're trying to put tumor-causing agents in our vaccines and telling us all to get the flu shot, you see a connection there? I doubt the Queen is taking any flu shots. Yeah. So if they had to get rid of these doctors here, all of them came up with the same conclusion. So anybody coming in here just trashing our show is making a big mistake. Okay. I'm not sure what Black Kitty's doing, but we know she's notorious. All right, so here you are looking at people that were recently alive, recently enjoying life. Now they're dead. There's no Seinfeld reference here. I never even watched the show. Okay, it's spelled nangalase. Thank you. We have the correct spelling here, nangalase. So research that and find out if you want to have a vaccine. You know, just do the necessary detailed investigation for yourself and your family. I'm not telling you whether vaccines are good or bad. I personally wouldn't want more than the basic required vaccines for a child, and I wouldn't want to give them to them too fast. Doctors are brainwashed big pharma shills, Alien Agenda. Thank you. You don't have to keep posting that. I get it. Nangalase is an extracellular matrix degrading enzyme that is secreted by cancerous cells in the process of tumor invasion. It's also an intrinsic component of the envelope protein of various virions, such as HIV and the influenza virus. 160, thank you for that. You guys do the research. I would never take a flu shot. I don't trust vaccinations because the science is not there. Do you know that vaccines are actually just waste material? Yeah. Hi. Can I give you a little heads up about how vaccines are made? A little tutorial. All right. They take a green monkey cell that they've been replicating for the past 50 years. This is 1957. 56 years. 58 years. And this green monkey cell has been replicated in petri dishes. And they take the cell out, and they put a little taste of the cell with the actual live virus, and they gestate it. And they get a really nasty little, petri dish. And then they take that attenuated portion and they stick it inside of an egg, a regular chicken egg. No, these are my ideas. My ideas. All of his ideas are my ideas. I have come up with all these ideas for years. He came into our chat room 3 years ago and just took notes. All right? So don't talk about Trump as if I'm borrowing his ideas. He stole all of my ideas. Every one of my ideas he stole, except hating on women, and I don't hate women. Hating Mexicans, I don't hate Mexicans. Hating veterans like John McCain, I think John McCain was a war hero. He didn't steal those ideas because those are his. And his fascination with his daughter and wanting to date his own daughter, that's his idea. Okay? I don't hate Mexicans, no. No, I want people to have a pathway to citizenship. That's why I came up with the term fast-track naturalization, which, of course, Barack Obama stole that term. All right, I'm going to have to purge your statement because it's worthless. That was me, Dave. Nangalase is an extra matrix degrading enzyme secreted by... Yeah, we got that. Thank you. Runs with Scissors, thanks for coming in, man. You were a guest earlier, now you're a real person in the show. Of course, all you guests are real people, too. How much approximately will government earn if you legalize pot and tax it? We're shooting for 15% tax across the board. With national pot sales getting near the $50 billion level across the country, you're looking at a serious amount of money. Probably $7-8 billion a year estimated profit for the government. That's just for starters. Then we can make all kinds of edibles, and we can even make hempcrete. Hempcrete can be used to build houses. Now, this is a way to use waste material 100%. Hempcrete is profiled on Cannabis Nation Radio as a possible thing to use to create efficiency, plastic, concrete. It's mildew resistant, termite resistant, excellent sound isolator, and breathable insulator. It's time for an honest conversation about hemp, everybody. Let's have an honest conversation, shall we? Yep, you can make bricks with poop and hemp combined once they've been desiccated. Yep. Poop bricks. Poop hemp bricks. No, the fact is the DEA won't bust your house when I legalize it. And everyone will be able to grow it personally for their own personal use. Isn't that great? So that's a savings of $26 billion a year. So the first year I'm president, we could save $26 billion there. That's how much the government spends on DEA interdiction. I calculated if we get rid of the cap lock button, we'll save at least 70,000 calories of unwasted or wasted energy hitting the typing over again. I'm just kidding. David, only Congress can legalize cannabis? Not true. No. No, a president can remove it from the list of controlled substances on the basis that it is medicinal. No item on the list of scheduled list of controlled substances should be on it if it's medicinal. And there's ample proof that it is medicinal. So I will be removing it from the list of controlled substances. Thank you very much. I'm not using OBS. It's a little too socialistic and communistic. I'm using a thing called XSplit, available at xsplit.com. I don't believe in free things. I believe I have to pay for things in order to use them. Isn't that nice? No, I've actually tried OBS, and frankly, I'm not that impressed. I like the tools and utilities I have for this. Now, it doesn't have the flexibility that XSplit has. But if you guys want to use free OBS, go for it, man. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Go for it. Congress doesn't make these decisions. That's my point. I can remove marijuana from the list of controlled substances. Thank you. If you want to amend the Controlled Substances Act, which is what you're referring to, that can come later. But I, as Commander-in-Chief of the country, will not prosecute anybody for growing it personally when I become president. Now, if you sell it, you need to pay a 15% tax or you will be prosecuted. I'm just kidding, didn't do muffins. I got under your skin there. No, open source is not communistic. I was just making a pun or something. Communism is not the new thing. Communism is the last thing you ever want for a country like ours. We are a nation based on individuality. With your communists, you see what they're doing in Washington. They charge 75% tax on marijuana. So our communist-led state government here in Washington State, run by the Democratic Communists, they actually want to tax the hell out of it so the people selling it can barely make a living. Bernie Sanders is a complete whack job with a big W. I'd be more than willing to talk to him about some of the issues that he's facing, but you cannot possibly borrow $18 trillion right now when our country's $18 trillion in debt. He wants to borrow $18 trillion to make government jobs. I want to create government jobs, but I want to do it on the pay-as-you-go plan and not abandon the idea of creating return on investments, which is absolutely essential. All right, so this is the Earth. This is the money I've saved you so far tonight, and I'm going to be adding more savings to the total budget throughout the evening. Have not heard about Johnny Depp's new movie, Black Mass. Is that some sort of a reference to black tar heroin? I didn't know Johnny was into that. I don't do any public appearances. My rate is $75,000 an hour, but I don't do any. I haven't done any yet. In order to get to a location with my security team, fully armed and ready for action, I needed 75 grand minimum per hour. No different than Hillary Clinton's daughter, Chelsea. I would say Bill Clinton's daughter, but there's not a lot of proof that Chelsea is Bill's daughter. Yeah, 75,000 is probably going to be my rate. Sorry. I know that's way too much. But hey, I can do a show and you can broadcast in an auditorium, live stream, and we can chat. They took down the Whoops in Boston because the feds gave favoritism to the Irish. Really? I didn't know that. Black Kitty, you seem to be a race baiter. Are you trying to create a race war here in our chat room? Somebody accused you earlier of being racist. I didn't know. All I can tell you is I really don't care much about Johnny Depp, even though he is a national sex symbol. I don't really understand him. I don't think he understands him. She's not race baiting here? Okay, because I'm writing a letter to this Natasha Chen about how she race baited me on Cairo. I didn't like the edit on that piece. It was way too truncated. 2 minutes was not enough time to even talk about what's happening to me. You have a toupee? I don't have a toupee. All right, thank you. Let's talk about the news. I think it's important. I don't want to waste your time talking about anything unimportant. The least we can do is talk about everything but the Pope, okay? Because the whole pre-show is about the Pope, and I don't want to go there. It was ugly. People were accusing everybody in the room of being pedos, and I just don't think we need to, cast aspersions right now. If the Pope wants to have a strange encounter with a child where somebody is reaching underneath behind him or her, the child, and touching the child's buttocks, you'll have to see this video to see the Pope in action. That's all I want to say about the Pope, all right? Not accusing him of being a pedo. Yeah, and then Lee Stoll, the former newscaster at Cairo, said she never even met me. What a liar. I know, well, the Prophet Muhammad was married to an 11-year-old child. Yeah, people don't know that. That's known common knowledge. He dated her when she was 9. Yeah, but I'm not here to talk about religion. I'm here to talk about politics. We need to transcend this discussion of religion and talk about what really matters. I know, tell me about it. The whole thing about religion is so dark and mysterious and weird that I don't even go to church anymore. I gave up my Catholic faith when I was 11 years old. I took this communion, which they required. I had to go through catechism to get to the communion point. And then I accepted the body and blood of the Lord Jesus to absolve me of all my sins. And I did that at 11, and I never sinned again. So why would I even have to participate in the religion? I have strong faith in the Lord, and I've moved forward in a righteous pathway here. So I really don't need to go in for regular, Eucharist eatings, dining on the Eucharist. Well, let's be clear. Got a call from OJ. OJ, is that you from prison? Or is this Willie Pickles? Hey, OJ. All right. Apparently you didn't want to talk. What would happen to the world without a government, law enforcement, and military? People would have volunteers in the neighborhood that would probably stand guard. There would be a general consensus that if you screw somebody over, you're going to get alienated by the group. I mean, there's some simple rules in life that would go on if we didn't have a government and a law enforcement and military. You'd get your ass kicked if you tried to, hit on somebody else's wife. Something like that. Why? Are you planning on becoming an anarchist? Because I don't recommend it. No government has ever actually been a legitimate anarchy. There's been no official anarchical government that I know of. So I don't recommend going without a government and law enforcement and the military. But we certainly do not want a police state forming, and a totalitarian regime in this nation is forming right now. I was born in Los Angeles, California. I'm not a Muslim. Man, you people are really off base. No, 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 no. Chaos would ensure, you mean ensue. Without a government? I disagree. No, the law of the jungle would take over. Chaos wouldn't totally take over. The law of the jungle. You get good people, enforcers. I heard about CERN, yeah. I'm very concerned about CERN. We'll talk more about CERN in a little bit. There was a waste of 150 lives against the Alps. 150 lives died crashing into the Alps because of CERN. And we still don't have the audio verification of that cockpit recording. Please don't get excited. The word cockpit is not designed to get excited. Thank you. You know, I didn't like UCLA. I felt that they were completely corrupt to the core. They were a Marxist organization. And we've seen academic Marxists embed themselves in the White House now with Obama. Obama is not a Christian. He's a Muslim. He's always been a Muslim. I'm the one who's been saying it for the 7 years going on, and no one's actually contested me. And no one's actually said, hey, Dave, you know, you're the one who said it 7 years ago. But yeah, Barack Obama was raised in a madrasa, and he spent most of his time in a school, 4 years during his most impressionable years, as a student of Indonesian, whatever that means. I have a Twitter. It's @ThirdParty. I recommend you go there. Hello? No, that'd be great. Yeah, if you want to get one, sure. Okay, super. Oh, great. Thank you. All right, super. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, that's good. That's, you know, how can I turn down a little tasty? It's going to be a pizza night. That's great. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we got here. Come on, get in there. Oh, there it is. A third party. That's what we are. And you can check us out at Twitter, @ThirdParty. If you want to definitely follow us. I really need more followers. I'm stuck at 814. I need help. And please start helping me, please. Helping me on Twitter. The last guy that tried to help me on Twitter was not exactly the best choice. So, well, let's be clear. Yep, he's the first gay, Jewish, and Muslim president. Yep. It's one of the rare first, you know, there was Sammy Davis Jr. He was Jewish and he was black. And then there was Barack Hussein Obama. He's Muslim and he's Jewish. And then there's Donald Trump, the closet woman hater who actually has connections to Germany. And the infamous Trump family in charge of prostitution rings. Yeah. And so many people don't even know the story of Donald Trump and the black book of Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump is number one on the list of people seeking prostitutes from Jeffrey Epstein, the known sex pedophile. Are you getting the picture here? Most corrupt, greedy pig running for president. Most corrupt, evil woman, uber bitch, running for president? The choice is yours. Do you really like the two parties? Or is it time to start a third party? Yeah. I do a radio show. And I will be reaching more people on a nightly basis because our radio show will be integrated with our regular show as we approach the election. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a 2-hour radio show during our election period. I'm starting with only a 30-minute live radio show with the 30-minute recorded after that. But it'll be coming into our show pretty soon here. We do a radio show. We did one for 9/11. I did one. And it's over on our icon. When you go to America's Third Party and click the icon, it's the radio icon. Let me show it to you. Yeah, Hitler was evil. Yeah, I know. So I'm going to be saving you some money tonight. We got $26 billion saved on DEA, interdiction of marijuana, by legalizing marijuana. You're going to cut back on the UN money and the money to Iran. We're going to save you $155 billion. Boy, we had a great show the other night. It was almost a bizarre. Beekman brought in this picture of a Bernie Sanders as a clown. You can watch our previous show every night at our website, AmericasThirdParty.com. This is the Bernie Sanders clown picture. But yeah, you can get on the state of your choice on the ballot. Help me get on the ballot in your state by going down and clicking the drop-down menu or the one on the side. But the icons are what I want to show you, and they're over here on the full page. There they are. And our radio icon is right here. You can listen to my 9/11 show by clicking the radio icon. And that was a good show too. We've been pretty busy. Well, let's be clear. I've got 222 episodes under my belt at Blog Talk Radio. Remember, I've been doing this for 7 years without any fail. I've done it continuously. We haven't skipped a beat. And we used to do the radio show all the time. So we definitely need to bring that back. So do not post here for any Trump person, because I don't like corrupt pigs running for president. It's not appropriate. No, I think that Obama's scar is coming from what is called transhumanism. You want to see my hand? Yeah, there you are. Transhumanism. It is a type of biochip implant that they put in Barack Obama's head. That's very inappropriate to say that. All right. Let's talk about dealing with the waste of the earth that's happening. With all the dumpsters filling up with plastic waste, I thought to myself, there's got to be a better way. And we came up with this plan in our book, Hybrid Capitalism, that talks about doing a recycling, composting job on all the food waste that hits the streets of America. We're talking about anything blemished or damaged at markets or being thrown away right now. We need to get that back into the soil. And as a family of farmers, my father was a farmer. I grew up around this idea or this ethos of saving the planet and helping the earth and being a steward of this great nation and the land that we have. I don't believe that we're doing a good job. I believe we're creating leached, chemically destroyed soil, which is considerably destroyed because of bad chemical fertilizers and pesticides. And as a protagonist of organic food production back in the 1980s, the problem became obvious to me that we need to take the food waste. 50% of the food that comes into our country is wasted. We need to do something with it. And these national composting centers will be everywhere in your area. We'll take some federal land and convert it into something that can munch up these vegetables and create good, healthy compost. Pretty good idea, huh? Yeah, September 23rd came and the asteroid and CERN collider disaster didn't happen. We'll have munchers that munch up the food waste and cycle it in with the dirt, and we'll be able to accelerate the fertilizer production by 50%. Hey, I really want guest chat to come in here, but don't keep posting support for your psychotic corporate pig that's running for president. My name is German American, but it's actually Norwegian. In 1100 AD, my family left Germany and moved to Norway. And the German family part stayed. I've got relatives in Germany that once owned a castle. And I don't want to trip you out or anything or make you think heavy thoughts. I'm not a Rothschild. I'm not a Rockefeller. I did find out last night that I am the spitting image of Teddy Roosevelt as a young man. And I'm not even a young man. I'm a dancing guy. I'm 55 years old. Yeah. Dancing my way to happiness. But getting back to what really matters in America, cutting waste, making big savings, solving America's problems. You know, really, negative statements about me are not going to go anywhere because I actually eat those up. I mean, you're basically helping me by running an attack campaign against me. I hope you realize that. Yeah, many of you don't realize that I set a spiral of positive and negative advertising going forward into the 2016 election, and you can't stop me now. Not only did I realize that I wasn't going to get any mainstream media attention, but I also realized that a lot of my attention is coming from overseas. I've got people in Japan talking about me right now. I've got people in Italy talking about me. I do have a published book. It's available on our website, Guest 194. And I want to remind you that it is affordable at $7.99 for the Kindle download and $14.99 for an actual nice paperback edition that would be a nice accoutrement to your library. Yes, Chelsea's father is Webb Hubbell, not Bill Clinton. Yeah, it's pretty much an established fact in the Beltway. People know this. They don't talk about it, though. Kind of like Michelle being a transgender. They don't talk about that either. They try to minimize that. The last person that talked about that is dead. You remember the late great comedian Joan Rivers? Yeah, she was awesome. Hey, could you stop posting your crap here, or I'm going to stop guest chat and make it really uncomfortable for a lot of guests. I don't have a toupee. There's no toupee here, guys. This is really my hair. A lot of you have no idea that I was born this way, with great hair. Okay, so this is our banner that goes in the bottom, so you can see my name and see what I'm all about. I'm going to close guest chat. Yeah. Thank you. A lot of these people are coming in here. Not only have I been censored in the mainstream media, but they're coming in here trying to attack me instead of opening up a dialogue on the issues. People, especially the dumb as a stump Trump heads, have no clue as to how evil Trump's plan is of ethnic cleansing. People don't understand the dangers of going down that dark road of ethnic cleansing. I'll make that green so it'll be a mnemonic memory, knowing that we're saving money on marijuana legalization. Okay. And the UN savings, that'll be in blue to depict the colors of the UN. All right? With a black background. All right, so we're saving money left and right here tonight. Okay. All right. So, coming up, 5.6 million fingerprints are stolen in a U.S. personal data hack, according to the government. Boy, our government is spending money left and right and doing nothing with it. All they're doing is now making it vulnerabilities across the nation because of their ineptitude. Look at this. Washington. Dateline Washington. Hackers who stole security clearance data on millions of Defense Department and other U.S. government employees got away with about 5.6 million fingerprint records, some 4.5 million more than initially reported, the government said. You know, this is one thing after another. Our government is becoming known as incompetent. Look at the anthrax, 84 separate shipments of anthrax that went out, and one of them was a bubonic plague version. Yeah. Now there's 14 people in the U.S. with bubonic plague. Isn't that nice to know? And the government doesn't even know what they're doing, but they are killing off good holistic doctors. That's a huge problem. We just talked about that story earlier. Yeah. So people's lives are being wasted. These men and women were under investigation by the FDA, and now they're dead. We talked about that earlier. I'm just doing a little round robin reminder of what's going on here. Okay, there you go. Okay, back to chat. Turning off guest chat makes them win, LOL. Oh, okay, well, let's go guest on again. Okay. Maybe they left and decided not to come back. Hey, I know, Oma. Oh, my gosh. Oma's here. Welcome, Oma. She had her baby taken away from her. She believes that her baby was stolen. She's been fighting a battle for 17 years now to try to find out more what happened to her child. I don't believe that Chelsea has made any comment to that effect about her dad being Webb Hubble. You know, I don't want to get into the nightmare called the Clinton family. We are really not sure what's really going on with Bill and Orgy Island and Hillary's inability to say more than one sentence a week. Yeah. You know, my ancestries are from Germany originally, but Norway. My mother's side, however, came over on the boat right after the Planter, right after the Mayflower. It was called the Planter. You want to hump me? That sounds very, very sexual. Wow. You must be eating a lot of beef byproducts, revving up those hormones in your body. Well, I'm basically a mix, yeah, of German, British. I have some, large portions Norwegian, and I've got a small amount of Romanian, dating back to the time when my family fought Vlad the Impaler, Count Dracula. My family on my mother's side, on one of her sides, she's part English and part Romanian. That side fought Vlad the Impaler and took him down in Wachovia, Transylvania. Blah. Well, yeah, Hillary is not exactly healthy. There's something going on with her face. Notice how it's kind of starting to deteriorate? I think they call that old age. I'm not sure. I don't seem to be suffering the vagaries of old age, but she is. Dracula was taken down after the Ottoman Empire by the Ottomans. Well, I don't know. You know, frankly, I believe that my family stopped Dracula. Let me have that fantasy, please. Just give me that. Yeah, let's take a look at the evolving face of Hillary. Yeah, she's real presidential there. She looks really on point. Let me show you a picture where she kind of lost it. Ooh la la. Yeah, I got a picture of Hillary that's, it's kind of it's a sad testimony to Hillary, the true Hillary. Here she is in an off-camera moment. Oh no, that's Tammy Faye Baker, I'm sorry. But she looks a lot like her. Yeah, let's get a picture of Hillary here. Something very, very pretty. Something very, very beautiful. Where she shows her true, terrific personality. Yeah. This is a living picture. This is her answering questions about Benghazi. And she did apologize for not having any information at all. She doesn't remember anything that happened during the time that Chris Stevens died, and she was tracking Chris Stevens with her emails. Prior to his death, she was looking into Chris Stevens. I'm not related to any German Nazi, no. Yeah, this is her answering questions about Benghazi. And this is the kind of response she'll give you about everything. Well, so Hillary, how are you going to create jobs in America? Well, how are you going to stop the slide of the U.S. dollar as it's tanking globally? What are you going to do about backing up the email servers at the White House? How about transparency? Hey, DJ Chillsink. Your grandfather was in the Panzer Division? Interesting. So you are German? I have no connection whatsoever to the Nazis. I have no relative. I don't even know anybody in Germany right now. So if there is a person there who is connected, I wouldn't know if that person existed. All right. Politics is not like a religion. No, politics is the shared information and ideas on a daily basis that lead us to better solutions about our country. That's what politics. Religion is more of a fixed state of mind, believing in whatever faith you have. Politics is a changing thing, whereas religion is more fixed. Big difference. They're not like each other at all. Yes, Hitler was a terrible man. He killed a lot of people. But so did the British, the Americans. But nothing like Hitler. Hitler killed way more. Yeah, so Hillary has a lot of money, and her handlers have told her to stop talking because sometimes she gets in the crazy mode. You know? What happens when people go from bipolar to, to crazy? You gotta wonder. Dresden, 210,000 people died. Unser Raid on Dresden. Yeah. Gotta vote for this guy. Thank you. Thank you, 202, for voting for me. Well, it is a disease, and I'm not trying to make fun of Hillary's disease. But is she bipolar? Does anybody know? What would explain this histrionic display of statements and bizarre... Yeah, what's going on with this? Yeah. Well, do you really want a president who has crazy spells? I mean, seriously. I mean, it's bad enough we got the alcoholic / crackhead Barack Obama. The last thing we need to do is deal with a person who's suffering from some mental disorder. She needs to get some help. You like her? What do you like about her? The stench of Vagisil whenever you walk by her? Is it the powder she wears to cover that smell? All right, let's move on. I don't want to talk about women in a negative way like Donald Trump said that Megyn Kelly was bleeding from her eyes, which I think is very disturbing. Okay, turn on your VPN so when I ban you, you can come right back. Okay. It is pretty gross, I know. I don't want an old woman running our country. We don't have the time for this. It'd be great if Sarah Hart was the next first female president, but Hillary Clinton, with her track record, the death count. Have you looked up the Clinton death count, any of you? It's worth Googling. Yeah, here it is. No, the fact that she's weak is relevant. The fact that she has a history of dead people all around her. Shall I scroll down the list? Okay. All these people are dead, unexplained deaths, all related to the Clintons. Oh, let me give you the link. David, how would you Tim Gunn do a fashion makeover on Hillary? I don't know. I'm not going to do Tim Gunn. I've been told not to do any homosexual impersonations. And I don't even know if Tim Gunn is homosexual. I have yet to realize that. Yeah, I've been told by my handler not to do any more impersonations of gay people. I don't have a handler. I'm just making that up. Well, they must have their own crematorium because all these people are dead. And you know what's really weird? All the records from Whitewater were in the Murrah building in Oklahoma City bombing, and they're all gone now. This is still scrolling, yeah. Dead fundraiser people that are all dead. Dead, 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 dead. Yeah, death count goes on and on. All these people were involved. Okay. Okay, here's Gandhi Bao, attorney representing Mr. Lasser in a case concerning alleged financial misconduct. Gandhi Bao. He died January 8th, 1994 in an alleged suicide by jumping out of a window of a multi-story building. You know how easy that is to fake? Mr. Lasser was a close associate of Governor Clinton and was later indicted on drug-related charges, among other things. Baug's law partner was suicided 1 month later on February 9th, 1994. These people are dropping like flies. Everybody that knew the Clintons are all dead. All the records from Whitewater are destroyed in the Oklahoma City bombing. Do you get the picture here, folks? Look at the dead women. Paula Grover, Clinton's speech interpreter for the death. She died in a one-car accident with no known witnesses. Her body was thrown 33 feet from the car. Indicating a very high speed, a very attractive woman, Paula traveled extensively with Clinton from '78 until her death. Clinton, through a spokesman, called Grover's death a great personal loss. That's nice. Well, somebody groped Miss Grober, and Miss Grober probably didn't want to kiss and tell. Or maybe did. But yeah, interpreter for the deaf, speech interpreter. Look at folks, I don't want to go into this deep Clinton death count. I don't want you to just think that Hillary is a sweet old lady that just wants nice things to happen to our country. She's carrying a new world order global control message. She represents the powers, the monetary leaders of the world that want to control the destiny of this great nation. I'm risking my life talking to you about this right now. You realize that? You realize I'm risking my life helping this nation on a nightly basis? And Donald Trump, being he's part of the same plan, the New World Order plan, he doesn't risk his life. He doesn't do anything. He just goes out there with bodyguards and continues to spout off, driving people toward Hillary. Donald Trump is doing a hostile takeover of the Republican Party. And basically what's happening is people are driving themselves toward the Hillary side. That's what's happening. Well, I certainly hope not. But Mike, I don't drive a brand new car that is got OBD2 connections to the outer world. I drive a 2000 Honda Insight, which cannot be hacked externally. Trump is a joke. Hillary is a joke. I'm not a joke. I'm the real deal. It is outrageous. So me really talking about this stuff in real time to the American people on a nightly basis and trying to, solve problems puts me high on the list of hated people in this world. I've got senators, U.S. senators running around hating on me because I simply don't support the military-industrial complex producing more war weapons unnecessarily and flying them over my head in a populated area of 50,000 people. So Patty Murray decided to hate on me, and she's the one running around talking about me in a negative way. Senator Patty Murray thinks I'm a terrible person. And I care about people, and I care about the world, and I don't want to see military industrial leaders destroy this beautiful planet we're living on. Trump is lately having bad hair. Well, how's my hair today? Is it like on a scale from 1 to 10, a 3? 10 being great? A 9? Thanks. That's nice. Appreciate it. It's good. It didn't cost me a leg and an arm either. I'm risking my life right now. It didn't do. Yep. I'm totally in touch with reality. Oh my God. I live in a state of complete awareness. I'm a person with an incredibly high IQ, as you know, and I'm a person who has a multitude of perceptions constantly. So when I go outside into the real world and travel around, I pick up more than maybe 2 to 3 times more information than you do. Sarah's going to be coming in shortly and she'll be with us. No problem. Yeah, but the bottom line is I perceive way more than most people. Even Sarah is amazed at all the perceptions I have when I go outside in groups of people. I said, did you see that guy, with the trench coat and the gun underneath his that was walking around? No. Did you see that open security breach at the convention center we went to? No. Did you see how those security guards were sitting there doing nothing and leaving 4 entrance points to a convention center open? No. I can turn it off now? Okay. No, we will not make all drugs legal unless 2/3 of the country supports that. Now, if you can tell your drug addict friends to get behind a campaign to legalize all drugs, feel free. Okay. Now, it's not true. Jesse Jackson has a lower IQ than me by over 60 points. His tested IQ is 125. How do you think I know that? That's what I do. I know these things. I would consider Jesse Ventura a possible VP if he could just start dressing appropriately. I just don't think this is the appropriate attire for a vice presidential candidate. Actually, I don't think Jesse can qualify. He actually has been living in. He's been living in. You're looking at the universe. I know. Yeah. Oh no, Arnold can't run for president, so he can't be a VP, and neither can Jesse. Jesse Ventura has been living in Mexico for 4 years. You can't do that and run for president. Yes, I do have 185 IQ. Test me. Ask me any question. I'll answer it with exactitude and perfection. Go ahead. Any question at all. You can't even think of a question. Yeah, so Arnold cannot run for president either. And that's a sad fact that many people like Henry Kissinger, he was upset. He actually openly stated to Hillary Clinton when she was Secretary of State that he felt jealous that she was going to be able to run for president, because when he was Secretary of State under Richard Nixon, he couldn't because he was from another country. So he got very angry and he said,
Mr. President, I believe we should bomb Cambodia and kill 100,000 people, innocent lives. I'm pissed off.
And Richard Nixon said,
Henry, I'm sorry, but I think you're losing your marbles.
Actually, Richard Nixon was the one that ordered the 100,000 people dead. Do you realize that our country killed nearly, accidentally 4 million people in Southeast Asia? People die fighting for democracy. Laura and I never did that. I don't know. The key of C is not exactly a safe key. I prefer 2 octaves above C. C major. Well, thank you. I'm working on a lot of other voices, but you know that could be my career someday. I may be a voiceover artist like Rich Little. Who knows? As soon as I grow up, I'll have a career, right? I actually did pretty well early in my life and decided to retire early. It is awkward, unless there's a chorus with C major. Only 4 million. Well, you know, you're being very, very, very rude to negate the lives of 4 million Southeast Asians that died unnecessarily. Yeah. You want to forget the war that we lost? You want to forget the 58,000 U.S. troops that could have had children and little grandchildren like you? I did work out a lot. Yeah, I used to be in crew at UCLA.
Because I do. I do not know if I can go that low. James Earl Jones. I can go to James Earl Jones.
I can get deep.
Deep, really deep. Yeah.
Right. The violin spider is the largest of all insects. It's also the most deadly. Oma, are you upset that the people are in here? I'm not here to impress or congratulate my Muslim supporters. They know I support freedom of speech and freedom of religion. But if they have a religious holiday, we keep religion out of our show. You know that. Spiders are a fish. Okay. Oh, you were talking about your award? What a scam, really? So they were trying to offer you an award for being a person fighting for a cause, and they want to charge you for that? That's the all-time ultimate scam. That's up there with offering to give you a speaking engagement at a convention that you pay to go see. There's the famous poetry scam, where you can become a famous poet, and if you have a poem, you can submit it, and they'll give it to you back in gold inlay and put it in the book. That's another scam. When it jumps, it pulls 300 feet per second G-force. No, my tested IQ was a Rorschach test. I answered it correctly. What are you looking at? I'm looking at a horrific nightmare. Here's your 185 IQ. There you go. Just kidding. No, I have a specific genius. I don't want to tell you exactly which specific it is in, but it's not, like an everyday genius. It's something specific. I'm not a guy who answers trivia questions like Ken Jennings, the famous Jeopardy star. I'm a person who can figure things out rather quickly using my instrument, which is my brain. I can find errors in large pictures. If you take two identical pictures and put them, make a small change in one of them, and I could look at those within a second, I can spot that change. It's a spatial reasoning and genius I have. It's part of a cognitive learning ability that you have in analyzing things inductively. For instance, I can look at our budget and see a massive amount of waste. Let's do that. Let's take a look at the monthly Treasury report. Here we go. It's a specific type of genius. Look, you're probably a genius too. You just don't know it. What are you good at? And masturbation does not count. All right? What are you good at? What's your spell? Are you a kinetic learner? Can you dance? When you see a person dance, can you do what they do? Here comes the monthly Treasury statement. So we've got July. It came in. We're going to take a look and see what the government's been doing behind the scenes. Yeah, you may have a specific genius in something. Maybe you are, maybe you're intuitive. Maybe you have an amazing intuition, like a mother's intuition. I'm sure that's true. Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a test that shows that masturbation once a day helps your prostate, but I'll bet that it really does. Yeah, the government makes up the monthly Treasury report, but nobody in government reads it. Wow, we are really in the yellow here. The yellow portion is the area where we're overspending. You're a geopolitical analyst genius? Wow. Maybe you have a unique ability to detect insincerity. That's a quality. That's a genius. Seriously. Maybe you're just a complete dithering idiot. And that's something to say about that. I mean, the village idiots, they actually could be intelligent in their own way, like an idiot savant. Here is the link to the monthly Treasury report if you guys want to look at it in detail. We're going to be taking a look at it. The big spending waste going on in our government right now is a thing called the military. Barack Obama signed NDAA into law 2014, $692 billion, and basically overspent. Now they're on track to spend $1 trillion this year. The government is. Because they give all these contractors so much more money than they deserve. Because every single contract is underbid, and then they're basically overspending constantly. I'm going to purge that. So let me show you what we've got here. Let me show you the hole in the budget, okay? We've saved already $26 billion on legalization of marijuana and $155 billion by not paying Iran or the UN in 2017. When the due payment comes up due for our forking over money with this stupid agreement that apparently Barack Obama and the U.S. Senate is configuring to agree to. I cannot believe that they're doing this. This is going to hurt our country big time. But once we find the holes in the budget, we'll open them up and lubricate them and show you where to cut the waste, okay? We're going to look at the budget like you would look at a glory hole and find a real gaper in that budget, all right? Am I speaking your language? I figured I was. That's all you think about all the time. Yeah, well, Israel now wants $7.5 billion a year. They're not getting enough with $3.5 billion. They're going to want $7.5 billion now that Barack Obama's made this deal with Iran, a deal with the devil. What? Did I wake you up from your masturbatory lull? Okay.
What?
Yeah. Okay, we're cutting budget here. Okay. Oh, it's ready? Okay. I've got a person I want you to meet. Sarah is my partner. She's the vice presidential candidate with me running this wonderful third party. Thank you. Hello. You look lovely today.
Thank you.
I love that. That sweater looks so good on you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hello, Evaluanity. I always forget how to say your name. You're a public divorce danger? What does that mean?
It means he's hitting on too many women, and he's a menace.
Oh,
he's
you're
a menace.
hitting on the women?
Yeah.
It don't matter.
It don't matter to me.
All the MILFs start twitching when they see you. That's hilarious.
So we can touch on the
if
budget
only they
anytime.
knew. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the bottom line here is, I was raised. My father was, a one woman man, married to my mother for almost 55 years. I think they were married.
Oh, at least.
Yeah, 56 years. I think my parents were married. So I learned from my mother and father what monogamy was all about. I didn't quite understand the idea of marriage, though, because the government is involved in marriage. And when I met Sarah and we talked about it, we didn't really want to get married. We didn't want to have kids either, because that's not what we want. We want to be free of that responsibility. And I'm glad I didn't have children, because had the swatting attempt occurred with the child around, my child would have been, probably taken away from me. I mean, I can only imagine what a lot of parents are going through right now.
Okay, you want to take a break?
Yep, I'm right back. Thank you.
There's Wild Sarah. Wild Sarah. I know. The process to create kids is interesting, good, fun. Is your name 3788184? Is that your phone number? No, that's funny. You learned the aliens trying to live me with no burgers. I have no idea what you're saying. 7539. Oh, I look lovely and I should check Facebook. Thank you, Norsky. Why a winter sweater? I love sweaters. Sweaters are like, Mr. Rogers. And Mr. Rogers would always put on a sweater. Well, I'm like the modern day, like Mr. Rogers. I love sweaters. And I love Mr. Rogers. I really do. Alright. Let me see if I remember my information. I know he did wear cardigans, and he kind of wore vests a lot. And I do like cardigans, but I like all kinds of sweaters. I don't take offense to sweaters. I like one sweater isn't better necessarily than another sweater. No, this is America's Third Party. You can join. 3788. Thank you, Ronnie. Okay. Here's some people talking back. Okay. Read this real quick. Jumping Jack Flash. It'll take me a little while to read that. Okay. Good. Alright, I read that one. Now let me go and I'm checking my mail. Oh, I didn't see his username there. You're getting your hair cut and dry and you have a big fan? Like you're drying it with a big fan? I don't know. My hair is stunning! Maybe I should wash it today. It is pretty cool though. You liked the idea of a piece of paper and electronic copies of your dad's house? I have no idea what you're saying. Makes you want to become a carpenter and work with something? Okay. Yes, I have dedicated my time to putting up with trolls for years. You're excited to announce a beautiful day. Fantastic. Which aptly explains why David does or never does what? David's plans are realistic. Sarah only wants David. This is true. I'm shocked. Read up. Candidate declares Iran a something something. Oh. Oh, if you had a girl with hair... I didn't read all of it, Sammy's, until just now. If you had a girl with hair like mine, you'd never leave the house. Got it. Totally get it now. I totally get it. Sometimes I'm a smart woman. Yeah, do you like that? I had it in a bun for like 2 days. My hair was all in a bun. Like, marmy? Whatever. What's the word? Anyway, I had it up in a bun and I decided to take it out. And this is the effect I get when I take it out and just push it off to the side. I know, Falcon. I think it happens to all the girls on the internet, probably. They all get hit on. But I do have the powers to see right through the people hitting on me and be like, let's talk about politics. Alright, so this came in from the Christian Telegram. Canada declares Iran a terrorist state. They closed their embassy and they expelled Iranian diplomats. Supposedly according to the Christian Telegram. I don't know how valid this is. Maybe I should go double check it. Would I be afraid of being kidnapped if David won the presidency? Well, I'd be the vice president. I'd be pretty secure with the Secret Service, so I think if they're doing their job, I won't be afraid. Thanks, DJ Chills. Yes, I know. I was looking like a school marm the last few days because I had my hair up in a bun, but that was on purpose. I wanted to look like a school marm, and now I'm able to take it down and all that. Oh, sorry, 54011. Well, I'm sure there's a lot of adult sites out there that can help with that, but yeah. $3788. Are you from a different country? It seems like English is your second language. I get hit on a lot digitally. LCADS J faux. But I guess in the past I had these big hideous glasses. Like, I still have them if you want me to wear them. But I had these big hideous glasses and I had my teeth were really, really messed up. And so they're in the other room. Maybe I'll get them some other time. Anyway, my teeth were really messed up. I didn't wear makeup. I was just Yeah. And so now I got my teeth fixed, I got my glasses fixed, and then... Alright, I will get them when I take my next break. So when I come on camera next time, I'll put them on for a little bit. I know, all women get hit on online. It's just the way of the internet. That's how it goes, the way of the internet. She 54011, he's not saying that I'm that way. Accidentally.
I got a Powerball ticket.
Oh, good. Nice.
$235 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did that. Yes, thank you. I'm not president. I really appreciate that. I like people that like me for my brain because I like people for their brain. There's some kind of thing out there where people are attracted to people's brains. Like, attracted to intelligence. That's me. I like intelligence. Now I'm going to go and double check this news story. Oh, I put too many L's in there. And I was going to search the news for Canada, Iran, and I want to search in the news. Would-be medical executive from Iran is barred from Canada. U.S. shares with Iran but not Canada, Des Moines Register. Iran volleyballers lost to Canada. Refugees claim Canadian policy threatens families. Canada and Iran still aren't friends. Let me look at embassy. Canada, Iran embassy. No, I'm never going to unban all ever again. That's just definitely not happening. No, I would not be afraid of the Saudis kidnapping me and making me some kind of sex slave for the Sultan. No. They would be very afraid of what I would do if that were to happen. Very afraid. Jump to embassy closures. I have heard of Sarah 6.2. I don't know her personally, but I've heard of her. I mean, she's come into the room once or twice. She's pretty interesting. Okay. So, there was a 2012 embassy closures on September 7th, 2012 during APAC Russia 2012 summit. Canadian Minister of Foreign Affairs John Baird announced that Canada was breaking diplomatic relations with Iran. I wonder what... Okay, that's 2012. But I wonder if there is one more recently. I can't bet this story. The Christian Telegram, it's on one website and that's it. Oh, thanks. You like older women because they're intellectual, easy to talk to, and not mentioning some are rich. That's pretty cool. Yes. No, that's not happening. 4410. Okay. So I'll have to double check. Oh, man. Canada, John Beard. See that whole thing, Canada is expelling Iranian diplomats. I wonder when this was published. I hate when things get posted and I have no idea when they're actually published. The copyright is 2014, so I don't know if this is recent. Alright, back to Facebook. I'm shocked, read up. Poor men can only dream of good steak these days. That's true. Can't load a plug-in. CBN News, Islamization of Paris is a warning to the West. Wow. I know, I don't drink. I purposely don't drink. I don't like the way alcohol makes me feel. I've only had it once or twice and I just didn't enjoy it. And then I don't like the way pain medication makes me feel. I like being in control of my own body and my own senses and things like that. $3788. If you have personal injury lawyer statutes, could you just read or something? Because your grammar is, it really irks me. It's just really irksome. That's all I can say. There's a lot to cover in important news. We're almost on 2:06. Time running out. What do you mean 2:06? Oh, 2016. Yes. True. There is a lot to cover. Is he using Google Translate? I mean, maybe that is why it's like that. 334. Oh, goodness.
Okay, so I'm going to cut another $500 billion off the budget. The defense spending will be $500 billion, not $1 trillion, under my leadership.
Yes, off-grid. Well, I don't mind being off-grid as long as I'm completely connected to the internet.
Yeah, really. I'm okay being as long as I have a SATCOM, satellite telephone, cell phone system. That'd be great. You know, you can't do a show from a mobile Wi-Fi because they have a throttling issue. They'll throttle you down. This uses up a tremendous amount of bandwidth, just broadcasting. I've never had a gay experience. Why would I even go there? Hello, good evening, Giraffe Brain. Breitbart. Ahmed's sister admits school suspension alleged bomb threat 3 years earlier? Really? This story is breaking on Breitbart, everybody. Thank you for that, Giraffe Brain. Look at this. As you dig deeper, you find out the police were actually onto something here. Yeah.
Wait, let's scroll down and actually read the story.
I'd rather just judge it by its cover.
Go down and let's read the story.
What are you, Snopes?
Let's go down, let's read the story.
All right. The sister of the boy who brought a suspected hoax bomb to his Texas high school said she was suspended. She was suspended from a school in a prior bomb scare. Her suspension occurred in '09 while she was attending middle school in the same district. So there's a history in this family. Leslie Weaver, a spokeswoman for the district, said if school officials can't release any information about the 18-year-old sister's episode because the Sudanese parents won't sign the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Wow. So they want to live in America, but they don't want to sign the Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Wow. And Obama just got this guy a lot of freebies, I'll tell you. He's like cashing in on all kinds of technology. Gifts from the liberal world that wants to, feel so sorry for him. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Just
so he
wanted you
just
guys to know.
brought in the clock from the thing that his sister made? No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Yeah, he made a timer clock. Okay.
Okay. Don't understand.
What, Mad Dog? What are
Yeah.
you talking about? I don't necessarily. Do you have a link to this? I don't believe that. I'll say this, Mad Dog. I am so in shock that I wouldn't believe it. Oh, good. I kind of figured that.
I'm not going to mute guess. Guess 3788 is actually cutting and pasting out of Google Translate from another country. So we want to.
I seriously doubt that.
Well, everything he says is unintelligible.
I know, but that doesn't mean that he's cutting out of Google Translate. That just could be that he's has some issues and is typing word salad.
I will explain exactly what they're doing, but unfortunately they're cutting and pasting into Google Translate, so I don't know the answer.
Yeah, maybe we could take what he says. Let's see. David purged him, so I can't do it.
Yeah.
I would take what he wrote and then try to translate it into another language. I have no idea.
So
Let's get back to the real issues. 3937 wants to keep us on track.
Okay, so we've saved 691 billion dollars so far. We're trying to save $1 trillion tonight. So another idea I have is to use the prison labor that we have in our prisons right now as a labor force to build the fence with the border with Mexico. I know what you're saying. Somehow this is Donald Trump's idea? No, this is my idea. And we came up with the 1,000-mile fence back in 2008. Yeah, we've been running that for 8 years now, 7 years. So $25 billion savings from that prison cost for warehousing prisoners who are illegal aliens right now in our prisons, warehousing them, is costing us dearly. So that's another $25 billion a year. Once we get them to work 3 months at the border, and then they can go to their home country and get freedom again. Let's get back to the real issues. So now we're really looking at a good total in the 700 range. We need to save a couple $100 billion to get a zero deficit by 2017. Yay! Doing the hard work, America's Third Party, cutting the budget without affecting your lives. Except, making them better.
Hi, 5415.
So we talked about the mobile medical units over here. That'll be a good savings, a bypass to the existing healthcare crisis. We'll be able to do this through the VA facilities, and I'll be able to do that as an executive order. As Commander-in-Chief of the Veterans Administration and the military, I will have the authority to do that. Isn't that wonderful? We don't have to wait on Congress to pull this off. All these ideas are engineered to work in spite of the corruption that currently exists in our nation's government. Yeah, we're cutting the budget and we're not hurting anybody. I don't think Lockheed Martin's going to mind too much if I have a $500 billion savings off the current $1 trillion amount that they currently are getting. And I'm not saying Lockheed Martin, but obviously if we cut the F-35, it's a huge drain. $1.5 trillion. That's how much the F-35 is going to cost over the lifetime of its tenure as one of our
I'll unban
jets.
that person.
fighter jets. Go ahead.
Okay, places 23.
Places 23.
Unbanned.
Good. You might have a very good condition and play games with your doctor. Wow, you are from China. Yes, we don't speak your weird translate language. Yeah. Well, let's be clear. The government is not responsible for creating jobs. Does that sound familiar? Sounds like Barack Obama, right?
Well, just ask the correct term.
Earmark.
Earlobe.
Earlobe. I personally believe we need to earmark the budget and focus on fixing problems, not just throwing money in different directions like Obama did with the ARRA, American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. That was another huge amount of money, $787 billion that we wasted. And you know that unemployment insurance scam that he pulled with giving all his cronies in the Democratic Party unemployment insurance when he hired them as censor workers and then fired them? Yeah, they all got $40,000, those Democrats did, each of them. That's what he did. He cost our nation over $650 billion giving out unemployment insurance unnecessarily. I know. This is Sarah. She's my female partner in the show. Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
I think the Pope has a lot of kind gestures that really kind of overtake the harsh reality that he's an evil warlord and a controller of the Vatican rat lines during the 1960s and 70s when they moved Nazis through Argentina when the Pope was a cardinal. So I really think there's a problem underlying his niceness. When a person's super nice, you got to wonder what kind of weird stuff has he done in the past. And that's what I think about the Pope. Our whole 1 hour pre-show was talking about a terrible picture that was propagating. The Pope was involved with a little kid, and somebody was touching the kid, and it was just an entire internet.
Bizarre.
It's a story that keeps propagating. But I'm not accusing the Pope of being a molester. I'm just saying that, the picture indicates that somebody behind the Pope is touching a child indecently. That's the best way to describe what's going on. All right. Yeah, we're not here to talk about religion right now, but that's really all that's in the news is the Pope. That's it. Nothing else. I mean, there's a lot of things going on right now. The budget in specific would be wonderful to look at. So.
Well, I do give myself feet massages. I massage my feet after a long day.
75 billion Social Security. That's how much is currently being outlaid this month of July. That was the July total. 75 billion for Social Security, 74 billion for Medicare, and 27 billion just to cover interest on the debt. Isn't that amazing? So if we can get out of debt, we won't have 27 billion. That would help us get closer to our goal of $1 trillion. Yes, I heard this young CEO at the pharmacy company inflating the price of the HIV drug. Yes, thanks, Guest 936. Yeah, I heard about it. It's pretty weird. And a lot of people who are suffering from HIV are usually on a budget, They're trying to profit from the people who are suffering the most. It's really, really bad. So Fox News didn't even air commercials while the Pope was on? Wow. Yeah, they're always appealing to that extremely religious voter bloc. Your Green Party? Well, I'm kind of Green Party. We support legalization of marijuana and also getting out of foreign wars and bringing our troops home. Whatever. You can justify your mathematics any way you want. Usually with HIV you get Social Security. That's not a given. A lot of people suffering from HIV may not have worked long enough to get Social Security benefits. So that's kind of a question mark. I'm not losing hair. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're saying. Yeah, I feel like getting a haircut has been kind of tragic for me because people are accusing me of losing hair. It's amazing. I want to show you a really cool. Oh, that's a leaf.
That is a leaf.
You know, I can honestly say that coffee has saved my life. And drinking coffee every day has given me an extra, kind of a chance of living longer because of the studies that were done on coffee. Apparently, men who drink 5 cups a day for 25 years have a 51% reduction in prostate cancer. How did I manage to get someone so sexy like Sarah? Well, you don't consider me sexy in any way?
Of course we consider you sexy, David. Only someone sexy like you would have someone sexy like me.
That's how it happened. That's how it happened. We met each other,
He
and we were.
landed me with his voice.
Yeah.
I think one of the sexiest parts about David is his
It
voice.
is. It is one of the
Especially
sexiest
his
parts.
phone voice.
My phone voice. Hey, how are you?
Yeah, see, whenever you answer the phone like that, it's like, oh.
You know, I really
You
don't
just
care.
pretend like you're on the phone with me.
I haven't lost any. I lost one hair in 6 months. I remember.
I've lost.
And you've
6
lost a lot more than
hairs
that.
in
Yeah.
1 second.
I know. I lost. You have a different metabolism completely. But I lost one hair in 6 months, so I put it in a jar, and I'm going to put it in resin. It's the last hair I lost. I'm going to frame it and put it on the wall. Sarah is stunning, yeah. I'm not so bad myself.
Of course, you're wonderful. I'll leave so they can talk about your sexiness.
No, they want to talk about you. They just want to look at you because you actually have this stunning model look tonight. I don't know. It's the hair, I think. They love the hair.
I know, I have the great hair.
Yeah, and it's that lovely pearl necklace that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we should probably, consider another hour and a half of broadcasting and call it a night. We're in the last session of one of the Survivor years. I'm not going to tell you which one, but Survivor is like an ongoing show that we've been watching on Netflix. Or no, actually on Amazon. Excuse me, on Amazon.
Thank you, 8503. You're not so bad at yourself. In fact, you're wonderful, 8503 says.
Live life, be happy, blessed with a beautiful wife, dude. Thank you, man. And someday Sarah and I will get married on a boat. I want to, yeah, let's do that. Well, we'll talk about it. Yeah. You know, that's not nice to say that to Sarah. I appreciate it if you didn't say things like that. Yeah, that's just very rude. I'm trying to save you guys some money, so let me stack the savings up here so I can get my head higher in the... That's just not looking right. Let me see if I can fix that. Yeah, $500 billion savings, $25 billion savings, $26 billion savings, $155 billion savings. I color-coded them so you'll remember what they are. If you have any questions, I'll give you the answer key in the legend. You can look up the terms.
Yeah, everybody with a voice that deep must have a really big...
Okay. It's true I have an incredibly versatile voice. I've been told that I have perhaps the greatest range of any living human being.
I can talk up in these registers right here. Oh, like Mickey Mouse.
And I can talk really low. In the deep registers. Yeah.
So, you should have invested your money on the market. I don't have any money to invest. I gave up all worldly possessions and I dedicated my life to poverty.
Yeah, I can get down. Get down on it.
Hey, let's play a little music while we're cutting the budget. You guys can cut other things while we play some music and relax. It's hump day, everybody, Wednesday. Time to unwind and cut loose and relax. Enjoy your time off tonight and glide into the coming weekend. Yay! Because you can't stop working, paying those bills. I get it. I want you to get fiscally sound. I want you to get out of financial stress.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, can't stop.
So let's be clear.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's
Sponheim for president.
Can't stop, can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop.
No, we don't require literacy tests. No way. We want to offer low-cost medical solutions like the mobile medical units in your city. We want to save money on the budget, everybody. $1 trillion savings in 2017. We want to deal with waste, the food waste in our country, by creating national composting plans. Composting the soil, helping improve trade drought resistance. We want to legalize marijuana and help you guys own a house out in the middle of nowhere if you want, made out of hempcrete. What a concept. The future of sustainability in America. We got to get away from these freakazoids who are running the two-party system. They are killing our nation. They're draining us dry, everybody. We've got to stop the two-party system. I need your help. This is a third party.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim.
All right. All right. How are we going to do it? We're going to space out. Let's sort it all out, shall we?
Can't stop and we won't stop.
We're gonna stop.
Dance all night, bring it.
All right, thank you. Okay, let's stop the brain drain. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. Please answer me. Who sings this song? This is a song. It's a remix by Scissor Fight. Thank you. I know. I love the theme song. And this is Scissor Fight's work. I did a little audio editing of my own. I haven't been back at it yet, but you know, when I sit down and get on Acid by Sony, you know, the audio editing system, it's a trip. It really is. I enjoyed it. I made a video or an audio that I think is pretty good. It's called, well, here it is. Good evening, Beekman. We're cutting the budget. Our fellow conservative Beekmans here, folks. I'm a fiscal conservative and a social liberal, whereas Beekman is not. We've got a lot of waste in our government, and people like Hillary are going to make it worse because of her incredible wasteful spending in the past. So we don't want another Hillary crazed, ridiculous person who won't even answer questions about Benghazi. Corporate America is sucking the lifeblood out of our nation, folks. Let's end this corporatocracy. All right, we're happening. Okay, we've got a lot of things to talk about tonight. Obviously, cutting government waste is central, but we have other issues of waste. Dealing with the environment is pivotal. If we don't start fixing the earth will fix us, and it won't be pretty. So a lot of our plans for growth in our government and in American enterprise will be surrounding clean green technologies. These are the areas that I support, and I will endorse anything that looks promising, but it has to get a return on investment. We got to fix the earth, and the only way to do it is to make money back doing it. So we kind of come together as a kind of a green party, kind of a clean party, but also a centrist party, a moderate party, one that doesn't want to tweak the budget too much, but definitely get a zero deficit and not waste more tax dollars. That's pivotal. So the idea of generic medicine and mobile medical units fits comfortably into the idea of getting a return on investment. Right now, your relatives are, some of them are not even taking their medication because it's too costly, $160 for 30 pills. Well, we can make those pills $30 for 30 pills. And then you guys can live longer, and it'll save us long term on the budget for healthcare. Because as you can tell, healthcare is really sucking us dry big time. Let's look at the numbers again. We've got the monthly Treasury report over here, outlays. This is a monthly swash of July spending. This is a typical month, July. You can see that defense is less than Social Security and Medicare in July. So in a way, they're cutting back on defense spending. Normally it's around 70 billion a month. It's down to 51 billion. Social Security is still a big problem that we have to find a solution to. And I've got a solution. We want to get no limit on payroll taxes. So somebody making, say, for instance, $500,000 a year would pay on that $500,000 a year. Right now, they're getting exemptions. Everything above $130,000 is not taxed. So we can start taxing the people to make more money, and it won't affect the economy too much. And we'll be able to cover the Social Security nut. I don't agree with the Republicans. I was toying with the idea of extending the retirement age to 70 over a 10-year period. I don't believe that that's the way to go now. Okay, we got a jet flying over our head. I think people should retire when they turn 62 if they want, and take us a lesser amount. Well, we don't have to take over the pharma companies right now. The free market does what it does. Most big pharma prices have a tremendous amount of advertising budgets that are built into the cost of medication. We don't have that cost with a generic medicine plan. So we'll be able to save money on the cost of advertising. That's one way. We distribute them here at the mobile medical unit pharmacy. We have another venue. We don't have to go through traditional medical venues for distribution. We don't even have to compete in the same area at the pharmacies. We don't. We can offer an alternative. All right, I'm going to turn this off now. As you can see, it could loop on and on. I just believe that we have to start getting serious about solving problems like healthcare. And we can't just rely on the healthcare industry to continually jack up the price on everything. Why is the White House not queer rainbow colored when the twat of a pope is in town trying to advertise the bleeping stupid looking Fiat he drives around in? I don't know. I'm not sure why the White House isn't queer rainbowed while the pope is here. You've got a good question though. Hey, thanks 362. Yeah, good ideas. Catching up to chat here. S&M says if the Pope is a man of God, his angels should be protecting him, so why the hell does he need bulletproof vests, windows, security guards? And why not, yeah, why, thank you. You asked a big question there. Okay, and the Pope with the devil. Wow. Okay, Beekman, you got some interesting stuff here. This is a candid picture of Barack Obama meeting the Pope. You got great pictures, Beekman. Wow, look at that. It's titled When the Pope Meets the Devil. Interesting. Classic. Okay, so obviously we can't allow contract rip-offs going on in our government. at any level. So what I want to do is create a task force to focus. Forensic auditors can focus on defense contracts overspending. Social Security experts could look at possible overspending there. Maybe we've got people on entitlements that shouldn't be getting Social Security entitlements. Medicare is one of those areas that we could look at forensically. And of course, interest on the debt, $27 billion in 1 month. It's huge. We're barely able to make the minimum payments on our interest now. Okay, odds are steady at so-and-so. I think I've got a pretty good chance of becoming president since nobody else has any good ideas. So that's good. That's a plus. That's a winning thing. All right, we've got a lot of savings we're putting together here. Lost my $25 billion savings. Let me get that up there. Oh, there it is. I think I've got a savings missing here. $155 billion. There it is. It's hiding. Okay. Okay, Dave, you know what I know. We know what we know together, yeah. S&M must be an atheist. You're right. I'm not an atheist. I truly believe in God, and I've always felt that faith was there ever since I was a baby, a child. I always felt the presence of something greater around me, something much bigger than anything you or I would even understand. It's the God particle. They're looking for the God particle now at the CERN reactor. They're trying to find out what is it that connects all the dots in matter. What is that thing that is the unifying factor that can make or break matter itself? Well, I had a lot of personal experiences where, I mean, for some people they're really hungry and they pray for a bag of potatoes, and right out in front of their house a bag of potatoes drops off a truck. I've heard stories like that. I have a family member that was out in the middle of the desert for 3 days with no water, and they prayed, and a white van came, or actually a white station wagon came by with water jugs in it and gave them a ride. I mean, these little things, you know, you just wonder, is it just a coincidence? But there's more than that. I've had a lot of experiences in my life which I cannot explain scientifically. And I'm more of a person who you'd think would be scientifically inclined, but I'm not one to believe solely in science. I believe that there's a lot of other things that can be discovered outside of science. Science relies on replication and duplicating an event to prove a theory or a theorem. And ironically, I believe some things cannot be duplicated or repeated. They're unique to that time and space. Like this jet over my house, flying at 250 feet, 120 decibels. I mean, that's just priceless. I'm not seeing the Pope on the East Coast right now because I'm not on the East Coast. And I don't meet with the Pope privately. Okay, I'll put this stuff on our website. Yeah, okay. I'm getting ready to write a plan, so I think I should do that. You're right, I'll do an update. Well, we got to cut another $250 billion off the budget to get a zero deficit. So I'm going to ask that we get rid of a few departments, if that's okay with you. I'm going to get rid of a $7 billion drain by getting rid of the CPS, Child Protective Services. It's costing $7 billion a year to run that. We're going to integrate our local law enforcement with domestic abuse issues and focus on the safety of the child that way. So I won't drop the ball on it. I'm just going to eradicate an entire agency that is corrupt to the core. Nearly 1,000 kids every year die under CPS care. And they don't just die normal deaths, they are tortured before they're killed. That's something I will not stand for, and I will not continue paying money out to an agency that continuously mishandles children. Thank you. So that's $7 billion down. I want to end the TSA. The TSA is another one that's costing $7 billion a year. Easy to remember, you know, this is that $7 billion number mark. We're looking at a lot of people getting groped. Over 430 people have filed complaints against the TSA since its inception about people being groped, you know, and touched and manhandled. women having their breasts lifted, unnecessarily just to look at to do a full search. I mean, there are cases, atrocities out there, and yet not one panty bomber has been apprehended since they put that $24 billion system rapid scanner into place. So it doesn't make sense that they would continue using this for the purpose that we have right now. The rapid scanner can be used on luggage, so no longer will it be used to look at naked body parts. I would recommend not looking at this picture. It'll freak you out, because that's what these perverts at the TSA look at whenever you go through the airport. And many of them ask for people to come back through again. Yeah, with a newspaper on their lap. I know. You've not groped anybody? Good. Well, don't even talk about hurting a woman. I'm going to purge that. I have a chat indicator that tells me that you're a psycho. Yeah. I'm so glad my chat DAR is working tonight, because sometimes when people post things in the room and I miss them, I zoom in with my chat DAR. Thank you. Well, he did, but that's because he wasn't aroused during the picture itself. I'm sure during arousal he would have been much more hung, like a horse. I mean, what kind of a comment is that? And that's exactly why we need to end the $7 billion a year for the TSA. We can replace the TSA with plainclothes military personnel, no different than what we have right now on the payroll of the U.S. military. Same people, we just give them a new detail. You're going to be working at the Seattle airport. Plain clothes, you will pack a .45 standard issue. Privately, you'll holster it. You'll be given a metal detector. We'll be eliminating the rapid scanner device for people. And we will save tons of money. And you guys are going to save money on your plane tickets, too. That's the nice part about it. Tomorrow, we'll be talking about ways of saving even more money with our technology idea. In fact, saving money in technology on energy is one of the ways our country is going to get ahead of this incredible pile of greed that we've acquired, Donald Trump being at the top. And all the guys here on the bottom want to just raise the minimum wage, and all these greedy Republicans like Donald Trump, they just want to look down upon the poor people and say, see, you're the problem. You want more money. So yeah, we're going to try to do everything we can to fix this problem with rational solutions, not histrionic plays for more advertising and free time. Anyone who sees the word D's balls in our chat room, it's a guy who actually is being paid by the CIA to post in here. The D's balls guy is actually a CIA plant. It was put out there to draw attention away from a third party and make it seem so trivial that a third party is even running. Did I accuse you of being psychotic? I'm sorry. I take that back. I'm not a psychiatric professional. You're fine. Right, Ellie? It's just you're talking to yourself too much. That's the problem. Okay. I notice that's quite common among broadcasters. You know, it's kind of a daily thing with some people. But then there's those people running in Congress and government that don't talk about anything. Case in point, Hillary, the woman who says the least amount that she possibly can to avoid being seen for what she is. All right. Okay, we have an address on Shawnee. Great, thank you. And has he confirmed that he is the guy? Because we'll be extraditing him to the U.S. shortly. Thank you. He's in Toronto? All right. Thank you very much. Yesterday. Yeah, we got jets flying over our house. Toronto. Okay, great. Yeah, if you hear any jets in the background, that's what's happening. No, you're only allowed to use 24 seconds safely. Yeah, that's the Digital Copyright Millennium Act that declares 24 seconds. Yeah, it was the case where Yoko Ono, you remember Yoko Ono. Yeah. Yoko, oh no, Yoko Ono, and she sued over that case where they used Imagine, this Christian group. Imagine that Jesus loves you, or whatever they sang, This is something that happened about, almost 10 years now. The Supreme Court ruled that the 24-second use is okay. I think it was 25 seconds, but 24 seconds is better than nothing. A long, long time ago. So we got a lot of people earlier in our chat room that just don't understand the importance of stopping this corporatocracy. And I know a lot of you Democrats are probably keyed in more than the Republicans, and many of you realize that there's no way we can allow these two corporate-owned parties to continue without a fight. And if the American people don't put up a fight, we're never going to save this nation. You can't use any copyrighted anything. Only for under 24 seconds. So you can work out some things with 24 seconds. Okay. I have not done a voice print analysis on Shanio, but have you? Do you have any forensic, guarantees that this guy really did do that? Yeah, I'm sure law enforcement would love to know more. Oh, I don't know if he's going to be, I don't even know if he did it. Do you know for sure he did it? Welcome to Marijuana Earth. Why is it the government tells us we can't smoke marijuana? Why is that? Does anybody have any idea why they have their head up their ass so high that they can't even figure out how high it is? I think the government should get high and just experiment with it, Maybe they are high. Maybe that's why they're so greedy about it. You know why? You can write me letters, yeah. I have a P.O. box. It's at facebook.com/USATP. Let me show you how dolphins get high. This is really interesting. I showed this last night.
But something far more extraordinary seems to be happening.
When attacked, pufferfish release a neurotoxin. In high doses it can kill, but in small doses it has a narcotic effect. It seems to be affecting the dolphins. They appear totally blissed out by the whole experience. And remarkably, all take turns in passing the puffer around. This is the first time that apparent recreational drug use has been documented in dolphins.
Aren't dolphins absolutely beautiful? God, just isn't that really great? And to think that we're allowing the death of the entire Pacific Oceans. I don't think Trump knows how to get high. Yeah. Has he ever smoked marijuana? Has he ever admitted to smoking marijuana? I'm not your homie, okay, Liquid Angel, but thank you for saying how are you. Dolphins can also blow ring bubbles. Wow. You got another dolphin video? You want a dueling dolphin videos tonight on Wasteful Wednesday. Amazing behavior. It's bubblicious.
time I saw this was probably 3 months ago. I walked down here with a guest, a VIP guest, and we were watching. It's kind of a cool behavior that the dolphins kind of learn from one another.
We got word that the dolphins at the Dolphin Cove here at SeaWorld were doing this really cool behavior at the underwater viewing windows where they were
kind of moving in a circle.
Whoa, look at that.
They blow the bubble and then the other one wants to get to it, and the smaller it gets, and then you're like, all right, I'm going to pop my toy. You can't have fun with that one. That's mine.
This is amazing behavior.
Logic would tell you that when you have air underwater, it immediately starts to rise. These rings are in a cylindrical form.
Fascinating.
They're perfectly circled, and they're traveling down. We mostly see the females doing it for some reason.
My guess would be that maybe the males are preoccupied with the social.
Okay, it looks like somebody was getting a little frisky underwater there. We don't want to show any genitalia. Yeah, so let's start fixing the ocean. What do you think? It looks to me like Donald Trump is a real square freakazoid, and I'm going to ban you for supporting him. Okay? Thanks. Why don't you go have a little freakazoid party over at Orgy Island where Mr. Perfect, Donald Trump, happens to solicit prostitutes from Jeffrey Epstein? Wow. I just can't believe I get these morons coming in here bragging about what a clean-cut guy Trump is, when this guy is on Jeffrey Epstein's black book. I mean, it's really, really, really disturbing to see this type of behavior. Here is the Gawker.com site that features the black book of Donald Trump's name. Yeah, you need to get on board with this reality. This guy is not what you think he is. He's not Mr. Straight-Laced at all. He's Mr. Hypocrite. And it's really sad. It's a holy grail, folks. Check it out. You are still on the fence thinking Donald Trump is Mr. Clean-Cut America. He's a married man who solicits prostitutes. Need I say more? Do we need another Bill Clinton? Sue me for what? He's in the black book. There's nothing to sue. I was just stating facts, dude. Thank you. You can take your crap and stick it back up your butt. All right. Yeah, last thing we need is a Federal Reserve sucking corporate pig like Donald Trump to dominate American politics. Give me a second and I will run with it. They won't even give any American a chance in the media. They shut everybody down. So yeah, I am ready. I'm going to write this letter to the lady that interviewed me on Cairo, Natasha Chen, and I'm going to write her an email saying the American people deserve more of me. And I want that video they took in front of my house. And if I can't see that video, if I can't get that video, then show me signed written permission for me to actually be on their show. That's what I'd like to see. They videotaped me in off areas that I didn't expect to be videotaped. They stowed my entire house on the camera. I said not to shoot my house. They shot my house. It's just unbelievable. So I am going to write the letter. It's 1 month now, and I'm going to send it out, and I'm going to do it. Well, that's just not right. And I'm purging you, because if you think our Oval Office could be bought, you haven't given us a second to support America's Third Party. You're just coming in here being a typical mindless idiot who just wants to rag on everybody who wants to question the status quo. It's really sad. You've been brainwashed, and you come in here spouting brainwashed material in our show, and I will not allow it. Thank you. Well, that's nice to know. If they can film my home without my permission as well, that's nice to know too. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, 825. Well, this is the problem, folks. If we're not gonna do anything for our future, our environment, our children, or even these dolphins, then why don't you just zip tie your hands in the morning and wait for them to cart you away to the FEMA camps, okay? Because that's your next option. And do not use me as a reference on your apartment application. Thank you. Just zip tie your hands, have your wife zip tie your hands in the morning and say, honey, I'm ready to be taken away whenever they come and get me. Yeah, you're ostensibly castrated. Because if you allow this entire global corporate takeover of our nation, controlling the political office of the presidency, the most important office, mind you, the one that is the only chance you've got in your lifetime of changing American government, having them control it is absolutely insane. Having these greedy pigs like Donald Trump control the White House with his relationship to the billionaire Jeffrey Epstein, or to the sex pervert Jeffrey Epstein. I mean, need I say more? He's not good for America, no. A womanizer is not good for America. The woman who interviewed me is named Natasha Chen, C-H-E-N, and her email is Natasha Cairo 7. It's at, or that's her Twitter, I'm sorry. N Chen, N-C-H-E-N, at CairoTV.com. So I'll email her myself, if you want to email her too. Yeah, N Chen at CairoTV.com. All right. Yeah. Yeah, she tried to race bait me, and I'm not happy about it. Trump is a plant by Hillary. And you know what's really crazy is if Trump does win by chance, the Federal Reserve would still own him and the future of this country. The last thing they want, folks, is a person like me to challenge their little scheme. And the president, I've said this before, the president is the only one who can actually look at the Exchange Stabilization Fund and determine whether it is indeed solvent. Now, I will do everything I can to audit that fund. No president in history has ever done anything like that. Yeah, any man that would scream at a woman, berate a woman, and make a woman cower, well, that's not a man. I agree, Master Meatball. He's just a person who is using the lowest ball techniques to control the political dialogue. Okay. I'm going to stop that. The government shutdown is October 1st. They haven't balanced the budget in 6 years, folks. We haven't seen a balanced budget in 6 years. So on October 1st, 2015, the government could shut down. You might see food stamps stop across the board. Possibility. Well, maybe the voting machines can be hacked, but if you get a popular vote with a popular president who wins as many states that could win the Electoral College vote, I literally could win with a write-in candidacy. It's entirely possible. But it's without getting me on the ballot in every state, it's problematic. So one of my ideas, which has been on our website and we support it, is the Pay Americans First plan. And that too will save a lot of money. I wanted to bring it up because it has the potential of saving perhaps the money we need to make the $1 trillion savings. So I'm trying to get that together here. Hold on. The Pay Americans First plan will actually be a way to actually save up to $40 billion a year, estimated, not paying illegal aliens food stamps, welfare, and Section 8 housing. I'm against the government spying and monitoring us. Arma good dude. Armag dude. Yeah, I'm against it. I'm convinced that Google is the government. I believe that Google is owned or controlled by the government. Hey, it's not about what we're hiding, Grove Street. It's about our rights and our freedoms being denied by our own government. You know, they don't have the right to come in and just look at everything in your house. They just don't. And they don't have the right to read your emails. So the Pay Americans First plan is our way of preventing a lot of government waste. Now, Donald Trump doesn't have anything like this, which makes my plan for immigration a lot more realistic than deporting 12 million people. I would not deport those people. I would just prosecute people that hire illegal aliens. It's a much safer plan. I don't want to talk about the Pope all the night. You know, the Pope. I don't want to hear. The news is propagated with the Pope. I would rather we were talking more about the pedophilia billionaire Jeffrey Epstein and his little black book. I would rather the news was about that. So you guys bring up the Pope and Caitlyn Jenner. Well, basically, a Social Security Trust Fund Guest 541 will be wrapped up and drained completely by 2032. Those are the estimates that are most realistic right now, maybe even sooner. And like I said earlier, I want to eliminate the cap on the payroll tax. So there won't be a limit on how much people have to pay. People that make a lot of money, over $500,000 a year, are going to be paying a lot more payroll tax. That'll help a lot with the Social Security Trust Fund. That should pick up the slack. That's a start. I don't want to extend the retirement age. I don't want to move it around. I like where it is. I know a lot of you are going to want to retire at 62 to 65. You don't want to work the rest of your life. I get that. Thank you. So we have to start really working with the American people, not perverts that have so much money that they think they can buy the presidency. I'm so sick and tired of this guy. It's ridiculous. And Hillary's just as bad because she's in the 1% as well. And she has no idea what it's like for you and I to survive. I don't think we're going to go to war with Russia, especially if I set up a meeting, a summit meeting online with Vladimir Putin, James. As president, I believe I can begin to patch relations with Vladimir Putin. I do. I have a good feeling about China, too. I don't believe that the artificial anger we've had in the Cold War and the colder war now that Obama has brought that on with Putin, calling him a jackass like he did. I don't believe that that is the destiny of America. I think we're going to work with the other superpowers to help balance the opportunity available for everyone on this planet and to clean the planet and make it better. I think the wars really can be attributed to our government doing an economic hit on Syria when literally Congress authorized Obama's decision to send $500 million to rebels to fight nebulous forces in ISIL and whatever. ISIS, who knows? I mean, none of these people are real. Most of them are fake. Most of this is just propaganda to generate more war, to take over yet another country so that the powers that be in the World Bank can control every single central bank around the world. And Syria is one of the ones they want to control. The whole story about Assad committing egregious acts, heinous acts against his own people was complete propaganda. The gassing of 1,300 people was never recanted by Obama, even though the UN found out that there was no truth at all in the story that Damascus had gassed 1,300 people. So the story is still out there. Some Americans still think that Assad gassed all those people. They never did. I only have good things to say. That is that we have a future on this planet that could very well be beatific if we move in that direction. But the more you keep your head in the sand and don't even recognize that we're literally killing off the earth and wasting tons of money right here, the more you believe that nothing can be done, the more likely nothing will be done. And the more likely we are headed toward doom and gloom. So I'd love to say positive things. I really would. Ironically, I was born a cynic, but I became an optimist as I got older. Yeah, I was literally, as a child, when I was digesting all this information and researching things, because I did a voluminous amount of reading as a child, 1,000 books. And in the process, I realized that this is a disaster in the making, and we need to do something to reverse the disaster in the making. but I haven't been able to really reverse it yet. So I really feel frustrated. I feel like a lot of good ideas could be put to play, and a lot of us can start to say, wow, this does make sense. Why would we pay a doctor when we can have a robot do it for free? Why would we go out and have doctors and nurses charge so much when an emergency medical technician could supply the necessary services at much less cost? Why would we solely rely on a corrupt, greedy, greedmonger system that produces fecal matter like Donald Trump? Greedy fecal matter expurged from this greedy system, and then they want to buy the presidency. We got to change this. We got to reverse this. This cannot continue to stand. We got to do everything we can to stop the powers of the two parties. Ergo, a third party. Yeah, well, I only want robot surgeries for real. I do. I've even picked out the robot that's going to work on me if I ever get sick. Yeah. Yeah, it's all set to do the MRI. It's going to have a mobile MRI system that'll know exactly where my organs are, so there's no question, is the doctor drinking? Is the doctor addicted to alcohol, or did he take a hit of cocaine before he opened me up? I won't have to worry about this with this little device here. And this is 10-year-old technology. That's 10 years old already. So yeah, we're advancing really rewind. We're advancing very fast. Ding ding ding. So if I want a little microsurgery on my head, excuse me, but I'm having a hair implants put in. You'll have to excuse me. I noticed I was thinning up in this region. Thank you. I'll have the surgery on demand. That's right. Yeah, I know. I've never had hair implants, but you never know. If they're affordable, I could see, $20 a piece. I never really heard about alfalfa drowning the goat. This is really kind of sad that Robert Blake would be doing that when you know that if you can't do the time, don't do the crime. And now I'm finding he drowned a goat with alfalfa. All right, it's from Robert Blake's book, available. Yeah, thanks Beekman for that trivia. Great. Have you ever considered reading Playboy? It might be more interesting. Or possibly even, I don't think they even sell Penthouse. Is Penthouse still in print? I think they went out when Bob Guccione died, didn't he? Oh no, they still print it. Okay. Apparently they still print it. Yeah, you might want to try that magazine as opposed to Robert Blake. Okay, who is Sean McQuaid? Oh, really? I doubt that that's the guy, man. Chubby Chicken. You're more likely the assailant. Well, I don't really want to work with the system, Tomato Girl. I want to bypass a lot of the problems in the system and create bypasses. So when we have bypass solutions like legalization of marijuana, we won't have to rely so heavily on big pharma for dealing with stress. We've already seen medicinal effects for many people. You could take Prozac, which is full of fluoride, to deal with your agitated depression as a person suffering from PTSD, for instance. But smoking a doobie gives you a better effect, and it's a lot more natural for you, and it won't kill your brain. So, I mean, there's a lot of benefits coming, medicinal benefits to the legalization process. Well, Liquid Angel, what the illegals in this country won't have many places to work, so many of them are going to want to go home to their country. And we have a plan called Fast Track Naturalization. Okay, I see that is Shawnio, but I still don't believe he did it. until I listen to his website, but I'll check it out. Thank you. But the illegal aliens are going to go home. In 2007, Oklahoma... Really? You have a dental plan that took a $1,500 surgery and turned it into $350? That's a pretty good dental plan. But dentistry in Mexico is a lot cheaper. Guess 541 just said that. Well, you know, the bottom line, the illegals won't be able to get any employment when we start prosecuting people like Leona Helmsley, the lady that hired a maid illegally and thought she could get away with it. She ended up serving 2 years in jail before she died. Leona Helmsley, I don't think she lasted much longer than... Yeah, she didn't live much longer after that that end of her life. I mean, you know. Oh, is she still alive? She has an estimated... No, she died in 2007. This is Leona Helmsley. She actually ended up dying in 2007, but she has a net worth of $8 billion. Back then, that was a lot of money. And she was required to serve 19 months in prison and 2 months under house arrest. During the trial, a former housekeeper testified that she had heard Helmsley say, "We don't pay taxes, only the little people pay taxes." So she passed away. Trying to basically get away with the unthinkable. You know, she looks cute. Well, anybody would look cute to you. Yeah. When you're desperate, anybody looks cute. Seriously. She left $10 million to her dog, really? The little people, yes. I know, I heard about the dentist in, is it Minnesota? Or Wisconsin, one of those states. He actually killed a lion. A very, very beautiful lion. Dentist kills lion. It's all over the news. And he claims it was perfectly fine for him to kill the lion. But this lion was very, very loved. It was Cecil the lion. And he killed this beautiful, beautiful creature. He has a dental practice in Minnesota. And he thought he'd go for a safari in Zimbabwe. And somehow Robert Mugabe, he likes money too. And this guy, this dentist, decided he wanted to take a pock shot at the lion and killed Cecil. Well, that's funny. He's wearing the same press-on veneers that I'm wearing. Why would a dentist wear press-on veneers? That's a little strange, don't you think? Yeah. I mean, it's kind of creepy that a dentist is wearing press-on veneers, isn't it? I mean, I could pull my press-on veneers off and I have teeth almost as nice as the teeth I'm wearing right now. This guy can't even afford his own dental care, and he goes to Zimbabwe to kill Cecil. Oh yeah. This is crazy. Wait a second. Hold on. Am I him? This is too weird. Oh my God, I'm him. Ah! Sorry, that was fun. The tooth twins. Yeah, all I can say is he is rich, but he's not rich enough to avoid having to lose all of his teeth and have to wear press-on veneers the rest of his life. Even I've got my teeth, you know. Yeah, if I took them off, you want me to take them off for you? I'll show you. Without them, I look pretty good. You want me to do a full reveal? It's okay if you don't. You do? I'm related to this lion, I think. Here we go. They look just like my regular teeth. Yeah, see? I'll put them back on. See? You can't even tell I'm wearing them. I decided to get the most invisible ones I could. Yeah, apparently the dentist envied the lion for his hair. Yeah. I'll do it again, just in case you weren't looking. There, I took them off. I have regular teeth. They're just not as white. There you go. Okay, so we're done with him. Okay, I think this guy's getting his practice back together, and I think the guilt of having lost money in his dental practice is really kind of sinking in. One thing that hurts a dentist is losing money. My dentist recently asked me how much, I spent $1,000 fixing my teeth recently, right? And I'm still wearing press-on veneers. I'm not being silly, I'm being very, very real. But whatever. Anyway, I spent about $1,000 to get my teeth fixed. And I can't wear, I can't get them perfectly white. But these are white. But the fact is, my dentist told me, he said he didn't have any money. While he's charging me $1,000, he tells me he doesn't have any money. And then he screwed up one of the teeth, so I actually asked him for a discount. And it's like pulling teeth, asking a dentist for a discount. No pun intended. Anyway, he hemmed and hawed, and his secretary was like, well, we normally don't do this. I don't have an impression of an animal being shot, thank you. Too white looks fake? Well, that's okay. Fake works. It's like pulling teeth, getting a discount from your dentist. I asked him, I said, well, could you give me a break? He says, well, I don't do any, I don't handle the numbers, he says. So you just basically take people's money, but you don't handle the numbers. So every time he does a dental job on me, he writes a little piece of paper. It's so small you can barely see it. And this time I saw it pass the notes to the dental hygienist. I'm seeing this little number pass in front of me, and it's the cost of each tooth. He doesn't do the numbers, but he writes down a little teeny number, what he wants for every tooth. So I basically called him on it. I said, come on, you didn't fix one of the teeth right. So they had a problem, so you got to pay for that. I'll meet you halfway. Well, he gave me a $75 discount. So I got the bill down to $1,000. Isn't that great? Thanks. I repaired three teeth for $1,000. I mean, don't get old, folks. Yes, I do support defunding Planned Parenthood for sure, Beekman. Absolutely. I can't believe that we've even seen the Democrats stand back and go, well, what are they going to do with the body parts? I mean, gosh, would they throw them in the garbage? Plus, I would like to make sure that any woman who has an abortion has to sign off on the use of that fetal tissue for scientific purposes. I mean, there should be a signature at the very least from the mother. I mean, come on. Getting old can be fun. That's good reverse psychology. You've talked yourself into waking up on the right side of the bed. Good for you, sausage. Topper Dan, I'm going to ask you to just go bye-bye. I've been through 2 elections already. If I don't win because I don't get enough people to write my name in this coming election or get me on the ballot, and I'm working on Pennsylvania tomorrow, I've got to call the Secretary of State to get a petition out there for a Pennsylvanian who's going to get signatures for me. But if I basically... I'm going to go ahead and purge you. If you got anything positive to say it, because I don't like your name. Thank you. Dave's dealer. I don't have a dealer. You can get recreational marijuana in this state. You don't need a dealer. Well, then you're wrong. I will be president. Period. You're out of here. It's just a matter of time. Oh, I know. I'm still young. Yeah. I'm only 55. When I get to be 65, then we'll cut my hair. Yeah. I just banned Dave's dealer. I've never even seen this guy on the show. He sounds a little weird to me. You know, I didn't want to have the Pope come over for a reach around. I really didn't think it was appropriate for me to meet the Nazi sympathizer named Pope Francis, who was single-handedly responsible for transporting Nazis into Argentina when he was cardinal. Whoa, you've already collected 254,000 signatures in Fresno. Wow. Folks, we're on our way in California. Only 1.2 million more. Thank you very much. You didn't know I was 55? Well, that's cool. I guess being kind of easygoing helps keep my age, you know, from getting too difficult. Aside from, you know, being mostly medicated 90% of the time with happiness, it must really help me stay young. I just maintain happiness at all times. If you find yourself not being happy, pinch yourself and say, God, you're in America. You look great. Yeah. Yeah, well, you got to be totally easygoing. Imagine going into a political scenario where everyone hates anybody who questions the two-party system. And then all of you people are growing in awareness and realizing how important this is to build this third party. And how lucky you are to have me running this effort, because I do have the charisma to carry us, to push us beyond their wildest dreams and literally question the two-party system. That's a start right there. But we have a lot of work to do. It's not easy. But we have to celebrate the idea that we have to convince other people that a third party is necessary to save this nation. And we don't need some crazed, ridiculous freakazoid like Donald Trump. Thank you. I mean, who in the world would have listened to him talk about how he hated the Mexican people, the criminals, the drug dealers, the rapists? I don't like illegals coming into the country either, but they're not bad people. They're just trying to better their lives. But they need to go home and do it at their own expense. Well, there you go. My recommendation to put Worcestershire sauce on your expired ground meat is the solution. Good for you. Yeah, you know, the thing about Worcestershire is it's built out of raisins, and raisins are full of antioxidants. So when you put that on the meat, and they say if you marinate your meat, you'll have 50% reductions in cholesterol. So go ahead and marinate your meat every night, okay? You guys, do that. You want to get less cholesterol. So soak that meat overnight and you'll be fine. That's right. You know, I did a live meat marination show on YouTube and it's no longer live. It's dead. It's now a dead meat marination episode. But you can go into my archive and check out all my meat tips. I've got an expired beef tip out there on our YouTube site. We have over, what, 400, 500 videos now? It takes forever just to get through them. But yeah, examples of meat marinated. This is a piece of meat that I don't recommend you do. What you are watching is actually twitching beef. A living entity twitching on its own. That's right. I don't think marination would help this beef. It's beyond help. It's been electrified and continues to pulse with the hormones that are inside of it. Not suitable for some viewers. Discretion is advised. I don't know how you post GIFs. You need to get a username, 504, and start from that. Yeah. The meat's throbbing because it was electrified. It's radiated. It's throbbing, electrified meat. Beekman says, did you hear about the 13-year-old African-American kid who was critical of Obama and is now blocked from Obama's Twitter feed? Wow. You mean a black was questioning a black? Wow. Is that possible? No, those are your insides after eating that massive pork belly sausage burger that you ate. I had to go into your stomach psychically to find out what was in it. Don't do pork on a daily basis. It won't help your intestines. You had a bean and cheese burrito for dinner? Okay. Thanks. Thanks for sharing. If you'd like your first appointment for counseling, you're the one who needs the mental help, dude. Yeah, I would recommend getting a life for starters. I am looking at your question. Hey, I have a major problem having to pay for others' health care, Dave. What are you going to do about that? I'm going to reduce the cost of health care because right now it's out of control. You've got dentists that like to kill animals just to collect their body parts to make more money. You've got greedy dentists that are now out there killing wild lion meat just to get, Koreans to buy them as beneficial nutrients. The fact is, healthcare is crazy out of control. And if you continue to spend money recklessly on healthcare, you're going to be broke. My recommendation to you is do not take a second mortgage on your house if you get hit with a really big healthcare bill that your insurance company doesn't want to pay. The biggest mistake Americans make right now is they borrow to pay the piper called healthcare. And these healthcare companies are healthcare pro-criminals. They're not professionals. They're excellent at stealing your money. I don't think your statements really are relevant to our show. I'm going to ban you. David, what are your thoughts on the black people who riot every time a white man is set free from killing a black man? Well, they're getting a lot of money from George Soros. That's what's happening. George Soros funded the Ferguson riots, the Baltimore riots. He actually gave $32 million to MoveOn.org to finance those riots. So don't think for a second that race wars are happening in America. There are people that are upset about the brutality, and I'm not discounting that. But at the same time, a lot of these riots are just funded propaganda tools by the Democratic Party. They're race baiting constantly. Fixing the healthcare system is going to be a two-part system. Let me give you the bottom line on this. Welcome to Campaign 2016, where we take this seriously. We would like to have TV commercials out there for the presidential race, but all of your donations will be going toward paying for that. And since no one's donating any money right now, we don't have enough money to put into the commercials. They cost $5 a piece maximum. I can get them for less, but it did work in the previous elections. We had 2 separate runs in 2 separate elections where we had like spikes on our website of 15,000 hits a day, just running a few spots in various test markets. So we can do this, but I need to get big donations. I can't do this on a shoestring. The money is all at the fec.gov. Just go there and type in my name, David John Sponheim, and you'll get all of the finances that we have bubbling underneath this effort, this grassroots effort. And I can tell you there's not a lot of money there. This entire thing has been based mostly on my persistence and ability to continually do a show every night, and your willingness to talk and share and chat. Well, you guys need to get a break on taxes for sure. That's why we have a flat tax proposal. Start an office of pleasure? Really? I can't imagine spending any time really pleasuring myself in the White House. Honestly, the job of president that is coming is going to be so hard that I'd have to, I'm going to be working so hard that it'll be so hard for me to actually have pleasure. I don't have a Vimeo account. No, I don't think turning criminals into slaves is the way to go, but using prison labor to build defense, that's almost slavery. It's not something I condone or condemn. Trump will lose because he's pushing votes to Hillary. And right now, the bigger mistakes that Trump makes, the more people want to vote for Hillary. But really, people don't want to vote for Hillary. They don't like her either. She's too pissed off and angry. She won't even answer questions. She's evading questions about Benghazi. Yeah. So they're going to be looking for a person like me to solve America's problems in the center of the political spectrum. I believe I'll be a national phenomenon by this time next year. I will be in the mainstream media. I will be reaching out to the people of this country to solve the problems facing our nation. And I don't believe anybody has what I can offer, which is solutions to this country's crisis. The savings that I've mapped out here so far is just the beginning. I anticipate another couple $100 billion in savings when we eliminate payments to non-U.S. citizens currently in our budget. I have another modification that I want to do to the welfare system is we only deliver one check per address, and that'll save a tremendous amount of money. Currently, we're paying up to 3 or 4 checks per address.
Increase for a life-saving medicine. One tablet of Daraprim used to cost $13.50. The drug maker recently increased the price to $750.
Well, this is the kind of problem that can be addressed with generic pharmaceuticals. And unlike Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton, I actually have a plan to create generic medicine using funds that we currently pay pharmaceutical companies to do research. The NIH doles out a lot of money every year, tax dollars. We can cut back a lot on that and focus on generic medicine made in America for Americans. So that problem can be solved rather quickly, and it's not like Hillary. Hillary wants to just mandate lower prices in the free market. I don't want to do that. Let the free market live, but let's provide an alternative and get the government to compete in the free market. That's my recommendation. I know, Liquid Angel. I've been to a lot of welfare areas in America. I've seen people living high on the hog with beautiful esplanades and 3 checks coming in. I know. This is why I want to make this coding change in Alabama. And we'll telegraph it, make sure people understand what's coming. But the biggest check will arrive at your home if you are on welfare. There won't be any other checks coming in. Would you give your soul to the devil to be president? The answer is no. I've already taken a huge risk running for president against all odds, and I'm going to continue to take that risk even if it costs me my life. So no, I'm not willing to trade my soul for this office. I'm willing to just do what I have to do to convince the American people of what needs to be done and let the chips fall where they may. If somebody wants to take me out and kill me, so be it. I'm not going to kiss their ass and do their bidding, because those are the people that we have to stop. They're the ones that are literally trying to destroy our planet and the way we live. They want to do what is called depopulation. We talked about that the past couple days. They would be more than willing to destroy all of us with taxation and make our life miserable. They don't care about us. So we need to get a country of and by the people again. Anybody making a death threat in the show will be banned. Anyone questioning my position on any issue, you're welcome to stay. Feel free to come in. Disagree with me on issues. Don't hesitate. But if you cannot come up with a credible thing to say and all you can do is give me a death threat or demoralize me, you're out of here. We'll ban anybody like that. And I don't think we should talk about slavery in a positive sense. We're not going in the right direction here. All right? A lot of you people want to get rid of Israel. Israel is here to stay. And I will give air support to Israel if they're ever attacked. I will, however, not send ground troops into the Middle East, but we will use the Middle East, obviously, to reach out for solutions to world peace, possible oil and gas supplies that we're currently using domestically, which help our nation, much like any other trading nation. But in no way should we force our will upon other nations and do economic hits like we're doing in Syria right now. What Barack Obama is doing is the bidding of the World Bank and the IMF, and it's not good. Ted Turner is a person who has openly stated he wants to get rid of 95% of the Earth's population. Bill Gates has talked about this too. We don't need these these autocrats, these megalomaniacal thieves. I call them thieves because they really are stealing money from the American people. They become monopolies, and they are no longer beneficial. Microsoft and Google both bordering on a monopoly. Well, if Israel's part of a depopulation movement, then that's on them. I can't help you with that. I have no confirmation of that. You know, we're not fused at the hip with Israel. I will make Israel accountable. I'm going to ask Israel to sign a nuclear non-proliferation treaty. I want them to sign on to it because I believe they have nuclear weapons. If they don't sign the nuclear non-proliferation treaty, I will have to cut back on the amount of foreign aid we give Israel. I have no other choice. No nation can receive money unless they sign the nuclear non-proliferation treaty as long as they have nuclear weapons. Part of the reason why Iran wants a nuclear weapon is they truly want to build up defenses against what they think is a threat from Israel. I understand that. But I'm not pandering to Iran like Barack Obama and John Kerry are. We need to go to the bargaining table again and not give them money. This payout that Obama's authorized is absolutely absurd. There's no way that Iran could have possibly earned $50 billion because of our sanctions. They didn't earn that money. I don't believe that for a second. They've been selling oil and all kinds of trading with India and China. To say that they lost $50 billion is outright thievery from the American tax dollars. In no way should Obama be authorized to do that. Yeah, well, the entire world knows that Israel has doomsday bombs, and we need to get them on the same level. NPT is a baseline for Israel, I agree. Well, this has been a fun show for everyone. I want to thank all of you and guests, you two, for behaving yourself and not hating on me so much as you have in the past. Some of you have been vicious, but I have not had any updates on the local law enforcement's pursuit of the criminal, but I'm going to be pursuing audio files of people that referred to me in the show and seeing if I get a voice match on the person that did the perpetrator of this swatting incident that happened to us about a month ago. Von Helfen doesn't have a chance in winning, no. Do you believe that a person who smells and can't shave and who can't even make his hair look normal would possibly win the presidency? I mean, that's why Donald Trump won't win. His hair sucks. All right, thank you so much for coming in, everybody. Wasteful Wednesday has always been kind of a social issue night. So we have some social issues we need to talk about in video form. And those issues involve police brutality like what happened to us, unnecessary swatting incident that should have been avoided with proper protocols by local law enforcement. And I'm going to do everything I can to help inform these people of a better way of dealing with internet hackers and attackers and solving the problems facing the country, with a little bit of mindful work, intelligent detective work, so that we don't go through the atrocities of taking a perfectly normal citizen out of their home and throwing them on the ground and cuffing them. If anything, this has been a big wake-up call for me to realize how uninformed and unaware local law enforcement is of all the different technologies we can to verify authenticity in any kind of a call. Now, calls can be spoofed, they can be altered, people can do a lot of things with calls. And law enforcement needs to know about that. And if they don't, then we've got a problem. And we have a problem. It's not going away anytime soon. So I'm going to do everything I can to make that problem go away. And I think the American people will benefit from it, because nobody wants to be swatted from some kid calling up and claiming they're this, that, or the other thing. It's just crazy. Especially when we all have phone numbers that the police can call and send verify if we are indeed that person. And there's technologies out there like voice imprints that can be checked against a database. So yeah, we got a lot of things that we need to fix. But one thing we can't fix right now, and we haven't seen any kind of change from Obama, is the issue of police brutality. With over 635 people now dead, unarmed people dead because of the brutality that they experienced, we need a correction, and we need a president to tell the police that they're not going to get paid, they're not going to be on the force if they continue to be brutal cops and do the unthinkable. I'm going to bring you both sides of the coin, one person defending their rights against an illegal search of their car. I'm going to show you some pretty scary stuff the police have, the SWAT teams have now. LRAD devices that are dangerous, that could very well, cause people irreparable damage to their hearing. A man who was forcefully probed up his butt in Deming, New Mexico, when a police dog claimed that they sniffed some marijuana on his seat. Virginia police pepper spraying a man who's having a medical emergency, a black man having a stroke, gets pepper sprayed. I've got a lot of weird stuff coming your way. And you'll also see the famous picture of a woman being hit with a baseball bat while standing at Walmart. Okay, thank you for coming in, everyone. We'll be on all the way to 2 in the morning with lots of videos and fun stuff to watch. Thanks for coming in. Yeah, well, I haven't had any jet problems because I run inside and I have a soundproof roof I put in. I figured there would be a problem with the roofing, so I redid my roof with soundproofing. Yeah. I wasn't going to sit there and take 120 decibels, thank you. All right, everyone, here we go. Take care.
I understand that, man. I'm just sitting here waiting for my boss. I just want to go to work. That's it. Like, if I had a car, I wouldn't have this issue.
But it's not illegal, so I don't care what you want to do. Follow the law.
Is there a...
You're following the law.
Is there a...
This is what happens when you call the cops. Say what? This is what happens when you call the cops. Come on. This is